This is the perfect time for them to show us what they've done over the last 24 months. All of these refinements, all of this work that they've put in now leads to this. DD Man jumping in, Sparky jumping in. Now what can you do against a dominant, and I need to stress this, a ridiculous showing from Shopify Rebellion so far leads us to believe that Shopify Rebellion will push through groups onto main stage, but there is only one left in their way, and it's the big Cyclops.
Thank you, Rob. Let's get underway. Big match for play-ins. This is both qualification and elimination for Shopify Rebellion. Must win. Let's be real, guys. Regardless of opponent, regardless of all the storylines, if you lose today, Shopify Rebellion not making it out of play-ins, it's a disaster. It'll be all over social media. For CAG, a win against Shopify Rebellion on land into then qualifying for group stage, it would be also all over social media as CAG would break the international curse. It's a big one. Strap yourselves in. We're going to Clubhouse.
Yeah, as I was alluding to before, in some ways unfortunate for these respective teams how they've been seeded and have a tough matchup. But for us and for the fans watching as neutral observers or even fans of the respective teams, I think we've got it a perfect matchup. It should be competitive. It should be fast-paced, and it should be a lot of fun. Club would go basement first. SR on defense. Double hard breach ban from them, so trying to limit some of the playmaking potential on Club, where hard breach is so fundamental to every single site. CAG have neutralized that a little bit by taking out the Kite and the Bandit, meaning that the remaining hard breach, being the secondaries and the Thermite, can still be effective.
I love context. It helps a lot for viewers at home. So the last time that CAG by VARREL played this map internationally, Salt Lake City Major against Falcons, as I referenced before, in that first half of that match, CAG actually got 3 attacking rounds. So something to kind of maybe look at as a benchmark in this first half, them being on the attack. The bans being Habana, Ace, along with the Kaid and the Bandit. Unfortunately for CAG in that particular match, they only got 1 defensive round, so something to consider. But as we get underway for Cyclops, they are already warmed up from their earlier match win against MIBR Los, won that 2-0, and straight away back into the server. And also straight into the building. Basement to begin. Shopify Rebellion not really showing too much on this top floor. Little towards bar, little towards stock, but they can play these fallback positions.
Yeah, Shopify electing to leave all shields up here for CAG, and that's, of course, most prominent for Anaton, who leans into the Blackbeard for this opening round, aiding in the second floor clear. Pretty intrigued to see just how eager Shopify Rebellion are to contest here through the first floor. Some warning shots from Ambi. He falls back, and as you can see on the defensive player cards, the entire defense now transitioning to basement.
And as Zaka gets to work toward Kitchen, he needs to be mindful, of course, of these nitro cells that likely will be thrown his way. Well, I like the mirror available for Shopify Rebellion, especially towards Church Triple, block that main stairs push. That's another thing too, is they might have to think about how they want to use some of these nitro cells with the Blackbeard maybe wanting to push down main stairs. That's also a good way to counter. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. You can actually see the lineup here from Canadian behind Church Triple Wall. It's actually got the middle side of the wall opened up. Hatch will get also opened up with the exothermic charge from DD Man. So far, the checklist being worked on from CAG. 60 seconds remaining in the opening round.
Yeah, steady going for both teams in this round. They'd both be pretty content with their current positions.
Oil rotate with the Blackbeard. Don't mind this. Especially, I guess, into the mirror if they felt like that bot main push is going to be a little bit too difficult. So they go Oil Pit plus Blue as the combination. Flash dump from Sharif. Does still have payload calls available. He's going to actually go maybe call that onto Rexon. Surf will stay Blue. Frag Grenade will force Anaton back and keep him locked down. First battle, Surf headshot. Lovely connection onto the star of CAG in Chibitsu. And only now, with 30 seconds left for CAG, they need to start to flood this site. They do get rid of Canadian. That might open up the ability to push bot main as a potential. It is somewhat open. Ambi had to then fall back, take that space. But the Blackbeard down for CAG means it's desperate times, and the drop into blue will be unsuccessful for Sharif as Shopify Rebellion. A strong defensive start on Clubhouse.
Yeah, the last 40 seconds there for CAG, they'll want to forget. Trying to push in late there. You look at the player cards there for the attack. Not a single piece of utility and nothing to show for the utility that was dumped prior to that. Unable to dislodge Blue. Surf looked pretty cozy. Rest of the defense able to hold firm on their anchor positions, and then it enabled a little bit of aggression. Chibisu fell. Surf able to contest Gen. No frag grenades remained. No displacement in terms of even flash grenades remained. And it meant that Shopify were just shooting fish in a barrel there in the opening round.
As we know in APAC, that side is the most difficult to take attacking-wise, so I'm not too surprised that CAG kind of fluffed their chances in the opening round. They needed to use that really as a, well, free punching bag. Credit, though, to the North American club. We go Gym Bedroom for the second round. Double Latricel being brought by Canadian and Rexon. They'll set up a lot of their trap utility around the site. Most likely an extension towards Cash, and Top Red could be on the cards as well. Reinforcement over towards CCTV.
5 seconds to go.
And Anaton from the Blackbeard to the Montang. Considering from Shopify Rebellion's perspective, banning away the Ace and the Hibana, it does leave Anaton's Monty and Ying available. So renowned on those particular operators. In fact, Anaton and Canadian and the Monty battle is going to be quite fascinating.
Switch in play for the Mirror. Sharif unsuccessful with that opening shock drone. One Mirror placed exterior jacuzzi to aid on potentially denying that wall, but no impacts of note for the defense. And then the second placed a little more deep in towards the objective, or close to, on the bathroom wall. Does free up a little more hard breach potential then on the CC side of the map. And Anaton with diffuser in hand, likely to play the front line here with the Monty. We'll need to be mindful of double Nitro on the side of this defense from Shopify Rebellion, alongside the Razor Blooms from Ambi.
Yeah, I like this from Canadian and Shopify Rebellion. Just the early positioning, and while that doesn't net a kill, it's showing early on that Shopify Rebellion aren't just going to fall back, play default. There's a little bit of aggressiveness in some of their playstyle. That does come, though, with the ramifications when you lose a player. Chibisu opening kill, and a bit of trouble towards Top Red, but no trouble for Ambi. Even with the Monty in his face pushing up, but eventually caught from Cash. Numbers prevail for the attack, and Anaton with the double pistol kill from the Monty means he's not just a passive shield threat, he's active. And there goes DD shutting down Rexon, and CAG showing what they can be capable of. And poor old Spoit by himself. Little bit of damage. Vault out of the window. Gets one, but not the second. No highlight reel play from Spoit as CAG tie it up, one apiece.
Well, we alluded to it before. What kind of impact can Anaton have on the shields in this opening half with them all being available? And he showed some really good composure and maturity there on the push over towards Red Stead. Didn't get sucked into finding an immediate trade onto Ambi right here. Would have been very easy to drop that shield, would have died. If that happens, a lot of the rest of the push through Cash would have been far more challenging, where we saw him get the double 8 on the pinch CC. So shout out to Anaton there. It wasn't just the 2 kills lighting up the kill feed, it was the maturity prior to that to allow that to take place.
So Cash and CCTV, we will rotate through the opening 3 sites. 1 for 1, both landing a blow. And both relatively comfortable round wins. 4 alive in the first round for Shopify Rebellion, 3 alive for CAG by VARREL. Good news as well for CAG. Anaton getting to work early on that Monty, but the bad news would be if it is successful again here, does it just get banned away? Realistically, for Shopify Rebellion, when you go Ace Hibana, it's not like you're going to then ban a third hard breach. You've kind of just left that third slot as a flexible ban based on maybe something you don't want to have to deal with.
Typically, we'll see the Capital ban for Shopify Rebellion. In fact, it is their most frequent ban on Clubhouse.
It is played in this round, of course, to help deal with Rafters.
They have dabbled in the Monty Flex ban a couple of times, though. So maybe if they're sensing Anaton's a little too tricky to tame, they could go down that route, which we have seen before.
Well, we do see Surf as well on the Clash. Top Red at the moment with his positioning. Exothermic opening up con single wall. And with main breach opened up, Surf's just going to peek around.
Loading new magazine.
Really kind of keep an eye on Anderton's positioning, because wherever he goes is likely going to be the forward path for CAG. If he's positioning towards Garage, probably Rafters clear. If he's going con side, could be that con side hit into Cash. At the moment, he's bottom Garage.
Go on, ready.
Well, Rexon's now got some help. I like bringing in the Clash over. They're sensing a lot of bodies now positioning towards Garage, and this is going to be where the main fight will be had in this round. Surf's going all the way to the stairs.
Yeah, this is preemptive. In anticipation for the Capital clear, Sharif still with 2 flame bolts.
There's 4 players
pocket.
contesting this, and as you said, with Sharif, he's going to have to be the one to cut them off, and indeed, the flame bolt and then Zaka follow-up headshot onto Rexon. If they can deal with Surf now as well, which they do, Anderton wins the shield battle. And with that, they win Rafters control.
That was nice. That was really nice from CAG. Not a whole lot that Rexon nor Surf could do in that position. Tricky to fault Shopify. Easy to praise CAG. 5 versus 3, 60 seconds. Their round to lose.
Hempy's going for a massive rotate towards Secret. Canadian towards Construction. Does still have a Nitrocell to help Spoit. Holding his own towards top red, but it means this server rack side is now vulnerable. Nitrocell from Canadian needs to hit and connect, and it does. That's a way to make an impact, but they lose Spoit top red. Big headshot from Sharif, and Chipisu immediately then gets onto the kit. Here comes Ambi. It's not Secret. It's up Oil Pit, but it's too late. Even with the ping, the reinforced wall means he can't spray it down. Although they're not aware of his positioning. Never mind, Chipisu back down bottom Garage, and it's going to be surely 2-1 in favor of CAG. Canadian gets 1, but 3 more required. In a very difficult post-plant position. 1 on the rappel. DD man, bullet to the head. CAG, they take the lead.
Yeah, pretty clinical there from the attack. Great clear. Rafters.
I don't know what DD man's laughing about there.
That was a good commit.
Oh, Benz, do you get rid of the Monty?
Well, the Capital was problematic in that round. Do you put emphasis on Rafters, or do you want the Monty for the overall flexibility that that operator is going to offer? I mean, I'm inclined to say in the context of this match, Monty, but clearly Capital has been a far more comfortable band for Shopify historically.
Oh,
and they actually go neither. So they do go for the triple down thermite. Now, this is the first time.
Maverick.
This is the first time this year Shopify Rebellion have gone for the triple heart breach ban.
Well, I wonder if this is something that they've looked at. Timeout as well, by the way. So not only do they get the half time, well, not half ban swap, whatever it is, you get to talk then. So you're doubling down on that from Super's perspective, really wanting to talk things over in this first half. The thermite ban, though, guys, tripling down on hard breach. It's not probably all that common, but what it does now do is say to CAG, you're not going to have the comfortability of opening up these reinforced walls. We're going to try and force you onto the likes of the Maverick.
I will
bring the secondary hard breaches. Have to do it the hard way.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that CAG are going to hate this additional time to talk things over, because it is pretty rare that you're going to play into the triple hard breach ban, right? And you can see Sparky there having a chat, presumably as a result of that. These next 3 rounds are going to be some very intriguing club.
So we get back on the way out of the timeout from Shopify Rebellion, feeling the pressure in the last few rounds. But it's a best of 3, it's a long series, it's a marathon, not a sprint. With all that said, it is still an incredibly important match for either of these 2 teams. As we head back down to basement, mirror the ban as well. I mean, I like the mirror ban, played both in the opening round and the second. So Church Arsenal, gym, bedroom, it has the flexibility, does the mirror. You can also play it cash and CCTV on that kennel's wall. So I think the mirror ban is a pretty safe, comfortable bet for CAG. Plus wall denial, etc. The thermite's going to be very interesting. Do CAG just think about secondary hard breaches, not overcomplicating it, not bringing the Maverick, and that's going to be the case in this 4th round. So no thermite available. They do not opt to bring a single hard breach, but they do have 4 secondary hard breaches with DD on the Ying and Chibisu on the Grim.
This location is free of hostiles.
Yeah, presumably bot floor will be the least impacted by the triple hard breach. It's going to be more when you think top and Jacuzzi CC and some of those primary walls. Kaid banned out. Naturally, it's going to be far more difficult for the defense to handle secondaries against hatches. Just the impacts in the hands of Spoit. The clash once again will be brought into the comp here from Shopify Rebellion. We're yet to see that be particularly effective, but naturally will be a strong counter against the Monty.
This is actually very good work, by the way. There's 2 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock. You've got kitchen hatch opened up. You've got hallway floorboard damage because of the boogie auto breaches. I think if you're CAG, you're very happy with the start of this 4th round.
They won't expect Ambi. They'll be too preoccupied by Canadian.
Nitrocell from Ambi, beautifully thrown onto Sharif. Just what the doctor ordered for Shopify Rebellion, but maybe CAG want to try and hit home quickly off the back of that opening kill. Smokes Candela's little delay in the stutter step drop down from DD Man. No contest though from the defense. He sits the smoke and instead actually touches bot main.
It's gone the wrong way.
But it means he's got this control. Canadian can plug up this wall with the clash and he will get the information. But they've got bot main and they can get then Moto control. Over to stock, Chibisu layering the Kawan Hive launcher.
Kawan on hostile.
It's a really tricky position now, a player down. I thought DD was maybe going to send it Armory side, try and find an opening there, but clearly not the case. Final Candela deployed, final B
is in,
deployed.
Anakin straight in. Spoit sitting in the back to site. Pops the Vulcan canister towards blue. Repositioning. Still a lot of time in the round. DD finds the kill onto Ambi. Nitrocell still in hand. Force. Oh, in the corner. Canadian shield down. Plank going down from Additive, but now forced off. They need the kill. Zaka not going to win out against Spoit. Once again, basement is going to be the home for Shopify Rebellion. Anaton's not getting alive in this one. Surf, big kill, all tied up 2-2. Well played from Shopify Rebellion.
Hey, I love that little pocket shot there. Canadian Ambi linked up nicely. Canadian with Clash Shield in hand. Not only can he then relay information to Ambi, but they can stall out and make that Nitro cell far more comfortable to hit. Nice duo work there, and it just sets yourself up so nicely. When you're a player down attacking on a basement on any map,
you don't see that
so
in
difficult.
APAC.
No, you don't, yeah, you don't see that in
and so
APAC.
I don't think Sharif is expecting to die from a Nitrocell there over towards Bar.
No.
Well, 2-2. It's a pretty good game so far. I do want to quickly go back, though, to that reference I made. Falcons, CAG, Salt Lake City. This map. CAG got 3 attacking rounds, 1 defensive round. So how important is it for them to make hay while it's still shining? They've got 2 rounds, 2 opportunities. I'm not saying they need to go up 4-2, but they do need to capitalize on a side that they do perform quite well on.
I'm very intrigued to see how the triple hard breach ban, though, will influence and impact top floor. And we'll see if that does make it more cumbersome for the attack. Naturally, secondary hard breaches are not as effective on exterior walls, going to lead to vaults, for instance. May mean that Shopify Rebellion will be incentivized to play a little more aggressive on the fringe, contest map entry. With the mirror extracted, it does then make it a little more challenging to straight up deny this hard breach, but just the follow-up entry off the back of that can certainly be compromised for the attack. Intriguingly, the Kali in play for the attack here, round 5.
There's one thing, though. When you've got 3 different players bringing secondary hard breaches, you actually can get wall pressure around the map a little quicker.
Again, the wall pressure is not the problem. It's getting in.
No, that is
Vaults
true.
are particularly uncomfortable if played properly by the defense. So Fear as well looking below. Sharif could be on here for a cash clear with a triple impact. Could be a formulation here to deal with Canadian on the clash.
And if he can, boy, that would open up this side of the map for CAG. Then for Anaton to be able to flood through, not have to deal with the clash. Can't spend too long on it, though. Sharif. Oh, here we go.
Go on, ready.
Trying to time this to perfection. Well, we can see the outline. There's the pings, there's the damage, there's the play. Wonderfully set up from CAG to deal with Shopify Rebellion's leader, and the clash is down. And it leaves Ambi on an island towards top red with a Montang pushing his way. And a player from Secret. What's Ambi to do? Left by himself. But maybe could take the 1v1 battle towards the player sitting Secret. Has to be so careful with his positioning. Needs to value his life.
He does. The pressure mounting on his position. Spoit falls elsewhere. CAG are breaking down this defense.
DD is in gym. They've got site control. And they've got Ambi locked over to top red.
He's put it on a barrier.
Surf does get the kill onto Chibisu as Ambi just holding on for dear life and hoping that others can step up. Surf got one. Where's Rexon? He's towards main stairs, but he gets caught out by Zaka, the SMG from the Kali. Ambi able to escape, but luckily then gets the headshot. Thought Sharif maybe got away. Surf gets rid of DD Man. 2 versus 2. Suddenly, the round has flipped. Shopify Rebellion, a fighting tooth and nail. And credit to Ambi for just staying alive and valuing his life. And because of that, they may now just win this round. Surf has anchored it down the site. They've got the BPC, and it's Surf's map at the moment. A huge quad kill from Surf. Steals the round for Shopify Rebellion.
That is a tilter for CAG and a massive confidence builder for Shopify Rebellion. Ambi wasn't dealt with. CAG were like, okay, well, we've got DD in sight. Let's just give this up, rotate over. Didn't account for Surf. On-site, perfect anchor work. Prior to that, the gameplay and the clear, especially onto Canadian, spot on from CAG. But Ambi retained life, Surf did his job on-site, and foiled the rotate from CAG by VARREL. Shopify Rebellion now back in the lead, 3-2.
I mean, what a round. 2 huge moments really being Surf and Ambi. Surf and Ambi won that round for Shopify Rebellion. Surf's play on site, Ambi's ability to stay alive, keeping control of top red, eventually then slipping out, finding a kill towards server. Credit to those two in particular.
Bomb located by attackers.
And a much needed round win, honestly, for Shopify Rebellion. Don't forget, they've already called their tactical timeout. They've already had to have a little talk over. That could have been a 3-1 lead, sorry, a 3-2 lead for CAG. Now it's the other way. Final round of this opening half.
Adding some protection from grenades.
Remember, by the way, for those maybe just tuning in, this is the map pick of CAG by VARREL. And a very, very good record as well to boot on this map. Only losing it once over the last 4 months. That being back at SLC against Team Falcons. Flawless back home in APAC North.
So once again, the attack flush with secondary hard breach is required. So that is going to then limit potential other utility brought by the attack, namely projectiles, and that's going to naturally bolster Rexon, for instance, who is on that Wamai. He less sent his way over on that Rafters position, which, keep in mind, last time was a really solid clear from CAG. Although that was particularly backed by the Capital, which will make it through to the final round of this first half. And in combination with the Grim and the Monty, we'll see how the defense looks to shape up this time around. Shopify Rebellion dropped the clash. So a different approach here. Rexon left on a little bit of an island to see how much time and utility he can stall out.
Instead of the Thermite for CAG, they have the Ying, so that's also pretty good for the on-site push later on, or even potentially 1 or 2 towards Rafters. Heard one in the background. 2 now have been expended by DD. I think Shopify Rebellion will know, though, and especially with the early positioning from CAG, this is going to be another Rafters hit. Rexon needs to be so cautious. So far, just the Grim Beast. There's the bolts. Vaults him back over. Love this Nitro Cell. Oh, lovely play from Rexon. Heads up. Yeah, he loses his life, but he gets rid of the Monty. That's a big win for SR.
Oh, you take that trade every day of the week. How much will that now compromise the final push from CAG? Rafters control is theirs, but at what cost? 60 seconds on the clock. And looking across at the defensive denial potential here, it is just Canadian with Nitro, but played that really well last time from that con-rotate position, and currently posturing for a similar play here on the reattempt.
The positive, though, for CAG, didn't have to expend all their utility just to get Rafters, so you've still got an air jab, you've still got a decent belt on the Capital, and also 1 Candela remaining. And here it is. In hand, DD throws it out. 30 seconds. This may have to be their push into CCTV. Chibisu, default plant, Canadian, lovely Nitro Cell. Easy read. Sharif to collect and go for the plant. But where's the cover? It's DD Man at the breach. Does get the down onto Canadian at the window. Surf makes a big swing. Gets the kill onto Sharif before the plant could go down. And now a 2 versus 2. Surf again. The man is riding the high waves. Zaka stopped by the barbed wire to make his way up top red stairs. Time expires. Sorry, son, but this one is going the way of Shopify Rebellion because Surf is on an absolute heater.
Wow. That's 2 massive rounds from Surf. Given the platform by another great Nitro from Canadian, I love that con rotate position, but there had to be follow-up. There had to be someone to go for that hero play on the fault outside. He executed that absolutely perfectly. CAG are formulating good plans at the moment, but on a couple of occasions, Shopify Rebellion have done a really good job in foiling those plans and have rightfully earned a 4-2 lead at the halftime break.
Absolutely rightfully, but for CAG, you're thinking the overall macro play hasn't been necessarily bad, guys, but these highlight plays or clutch or individual plays, that's been the difference. You think about Ambient Surf back on Gym Bedroom, Surf again. Now, we didn't quite get to see it, but he basically hops out con, goes CC window, swings on Sharif, plant then can't go down. That then creates a 2v2 where the attacking team has to be the aggressor. If that plant had have been successful, same numbers up, it's a very different end to the round.
Yeah, more than likely. Look, some good moments from CAG over the course of the half, but a tale as old as time when it comes from teams from APL. Good is not going to be good enough at this level.
And need to be good for long enough as well.
Exactly, which is probably their biggest concern.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they go defense now. So we are at the halftime break, 40 seconds till we get back underway. Switch sides, 8-2. The KD ratio for Surf. There's the play at the end there. So even though DD Man found 2 kills, that's great. He did his job. He's able to block off that cash side cross. What he can't stop, though, is CC window. And that's where Surf was able to find the gap. And a huge play from him.
And Rexon as well, prior to that, I don't know if that was noted in the post round, but clearly had impact earlier on, right? He hit that huge Nitro cell, traded immediately, but you take that every day of the week, losing the Monty, that may have been a layer of protection that could have changed the complexion of the round.
If you think about if the Monty's facing Kennels, shield on the back, Surf can't get the kill.
Yeah.
So halftime break coming to an end. By the way, DD Man fragging out. He's got 8 kills. You talk about your IGL ex-coach, and he is not shy on the main stage. And while that in itself is a positive, guys, technically you would rather Chibisu and Sharif being the ones leading the front line, 2 and 3 kills respectively as we head into the bands. Canadian will not get the afforded pleasure to play the Montank, such as Anaton got in the opening half, nor the Blackbeard. And the Bandit and the Kaid will be banned away.
Well, Hard Breach is not going to be Shopify Rebellion's concern over the next 6 rounds. That's sure. It means the dynamic will be a little different to the first half.
They won't have shield play. Blitz, I guess you can obviously bring on Clubhouse. I don't mind this if you're CAG. Get rid of the shields. Canadian actually does go the Blitz to begin with, but it is far more volatile. It's more of a, I guess, the Blitz is high risk, high reward compared to the Monty.
Yeah, we don't typically see the Blackbeard banned out against Shopify Rebellion. The Monty, as expected, is most frequently banned against them, the largest portion of that data coming from domestic competition, but yeah, double down from CAG, and we'll have to wait and see what the ramifications of that may be as we go to basement for round 7. And Sharif,
I'm not a big fan of the scope boss.
Not a big fan.
No, I'm not.
I don't mind it for the strip side play. If you do it effectively, I think it can be quite good, but it's important that you value life. You need to stay alive for as long as possible.
You do, but it's also very easy to drone out and then have an idea as to where that scope boss is playing.
Drone ready.
Does somewhat leave you a little bit susceptible. If you go for a rush into sight and the scope boss is over towards strip and unable to get back quickly in time. Surf, by the way, very aggressive through dirt to begin with.
Yeah, we'll be kept at bay by the Goyo canister from Zaka.
Oh, like this though, from Canadian, the roof into CCTV. Ever so quickly. Flash, guard break, pistol. Oh, well played from Canadian. That's one way to get an entry kill. Shuts down Jibitsu, who's having a bit of a struggle on Clubhouse. And Spoit getting rid of Zaka means for Shopify Rebellion a wonderful start in this second half.
Yeah, Sharif now will activate over towards Kitchen as DD aggresses inside of Dirk. Going for a pinch now, it seems these two may go. Minute 45.
Oh, Spoit doesn't know he's already tucked in left side of Locker. This could be a big play for Sharif. But Sharif himself doesn't quite know. Makes the cross and can get back to site.
Still not a very comfortable position now for the defense. Player down, DD low. Blitz still up for Shopify Rebellion. Will Sharif maybe go for the play here to shell above?
Nope.
Unlikely. Ambi could invest the nade for the clear, but elects not to. And may well now do that. As he remembers, he still has one. And so that potential play now has been squashed for CAG.
And that's largely also the problem with Scopulse now, is all you really bring to the table are the 2 impact grenades in your belt. You don't really bring utility. Although, to be fair, right now, neither does DD, or even really Anaton. DD low. Pushing from Canadian, successful, but no, losing out to Sharif. Good clear onto DD from Ambi. Sharif though able to get rid of Spoit, and suddenly gets a little bit messy. But Ambi again, from this hallway position, has found 2 critical kills. An oversight though, Anaton was able to slip through the backside, but couldn't get the elimination onto Ambi. Desperately opens up the wall, but it's Rexon in Arsenal. So looking into Church, only to take the 1 versus 1 against Ambi. Anaton struggling to connect these shots. The Nitrocell 2, unsuccessful. A peek through triple, maybe, will be successful. But crouching perfectly, Ambi stays out of vision, stays out of the firing range. And Anaton, low on health, is very much struggling to close this 7th round out. Shopify Rebellion are on the verge of finding 5. A 3-round advantage on CAG's map pick. They're just starting to really run away with it.
Yeah, they're flexing their muscles. And I think it's going to start developing into a mental test for CAG. You're giving me the hand signal for a timeout, but I think we'll have to wait a little while longer for CAG to call theirs. Yeah, replay package of that.
Interesting, down 5-2. That's the time. I think that's the point right then and there. You've dropped 4 rounds in a row. Now look, and Sharif did at least have an impact on the Scopulse kills-wise, 2 on site. But Ambi's late push down main stairs was very successful. Well, it's been an all-round effort as well for the Rebellion. No one lagging behind. Canadian with 5, Spoit 4-5. So close to going even. Rexon +1, Ambi +3, Surf +5. As much as maybe some of the rounds themselves at times have looked close or looked a bit of a struggle, and certainly a power struggle between the 2 teams within the rounds, it's Shopify Rebellion that have always had the extra strength to close the round out. 3-round advantage as we go Jim Bedroom. Still no tactical timeout from CAG.
It might be due to your lack of...
Swift entry below here from Ambi on the Deimos. Can be a lurk threat on the horizontal, and in combination with the solid snake of Spoit. Shopify Rebellion leaning very heavily into the info gather meta.
Selma sequence activated.
We'll see what they ultimately posture for. If the Clash top red, that's going to be a tricky head-on push for Ambi.
Keep us strikes true. Barrier deployed.
Deathmark tracker out. Tracker on hostile.
Looks like
It's a very defensive formation from CAG. Anaton's the only one towards cash on the Clash. And so therefore, it suggests to me they're not wanting to over-invest on the extension, rather putting bodies towards the site. I don't necessarily mind that if you're CAG. It's been a big run. Oh, Ambi trying to push up, and he's caught by Anaton.
That was a very risky push to go solo up red. Needed support, but Ambi unfortunately does get exposed. So CAG, advantageous position. Elected not to invest heavily on the extension, and so far they have been rewarded.
So they can play 5-stack site.
I'm ready.
This is a round that needs to be won and to be converted. 7 rounds played into this 8th, and so far only a single round where the opening kill has not been converted. Unfortunately for CAG, it was them in the 5th round. This time need to convert. It's a must. Mirror window still needs to be dealt with over towards the Jacuzzi breach. Rexon has got control towards Cash. Spoit just outside construction on the balcony. DD will sit pull with the Nitrocell ready for a gym entry. CAG is set up.
Oh, that was an opportunity for Spoit. Just misses the mark. It doesn't feel like there'll be too many more opportunities in this round for the attack. Good setup from CAG. They just need to hold firm.
Canadian wanting to flush out bathroom. It's not working.
Oh, no.
Sharif found a team kill onto Zaka, but fortunately he got rid of Rexon. DD's Nitrocell from Pool also was able to connect onto Spoit just outside gym window. Well, this is much better from CAG. Defensively strong on gym bedroom. Stopping a run of 4 consecutive rounds from Shopify Rebellion. CAG finally back in the winner's side and keep this match still hopeful.
Yeah, the hope is very much still there. As we look back at that previous round, the team kill certainly didn't aid CAG, but too good elsewhere. Didn't really matter. Clash still standing, made it tough, and the anchor work overall was pretty effective there. CAG not wanting to over-aggress on the horizontal. Ambi gifted them a kill over towards top red, and that only further drove home the advantage and the kind of way they wanted to play that round.
Well, how's this for the stats, guys? 8 rounds played. We are split even on the opening kills, 4-4. Plants are split even, 1-1. The only separating major statistic, the multi-kills, served with that wonderful 4K back in the 5th round. That's it. So for a 5-3
That's
game...
probably why it's 5-3, not 4-4.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's been a pretty close match so far.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Cash and CCTV in the APAC region can prove to be difficult to defend. So a big test now for CAG. Also, Benz after this round. What are we thinking? Do you just get rid of the blitz and force Canadian off shields altogether? Unless he wants to go the fuse. Rexon on the ends.
It'd be a big call to go for the all-in, but...
Oh, they went with the all-in on the hard breaches.
Yeah.
Did Shopify Rebellion?
Sense set up here from Shopify Rebellion.
Sharif is very aggressive on this rafters hold over towards the stairs. Will make his way back now. Not the greatest utility to deal with. They might go direct and straight through secret. Canadian though, there is the barbed wire, but they are able to get Zaka caught backpedaling back up red stairs. Surf then is able to shut down Sharif over at the balcony. Wonderful play from Shopify Rebellion to catch CAG napping. Completely circumnavigating this clash as well. And with that, they're able to also now have this rafters control. You've got breach control. You can go back up red. They've got a lot of the map with 90 seconds still left to play with.
Yeah, big window of opportunity now for the attack to reset.
Love the reset.
Yeah, recompose. A lot of utils still to play with. Spoit, final Watero deployed. Double ROU up for Rexon as well. This is a very tricky position for CAG, who have been outbrained in the first half of this round.
Don't even have Nitrocells either to throw over the server rack. Only real delay, or even plan to deny, would be DD. And DD was over to Jim, but a lovely vault-out headshot onto Spoit. That, though, might be the go button for Shopify Rebellion. Losing the man, but they've got the position. Rexon into the middle of LCCTV. Chipisu, wonderful clear onto Canadian, but Rexon's found 2 from this CC position. DD a little too late to get back to help out. Final gas babe will plume. 1 versus 3 required for the former coach, now turned pro again. Can't connect onto the headshot, neither on the second opportunity with the plant now successfully down. It's too much for DD man. Surf with the final dagger. 3 map point opportunities to the Rebellion.
Yeah, beautiful set play there from Shopify Rebellion. Maybe one that CAG have just seen for the first time and caught out on. Stack secret, pressure lounge through red, while there was simultaneous pressure on that Kennel's wall. They were crippled then for the remaining half of the round, and whilst there were some glimpses of heroics with the DD jump out and the clutch attempt to late, it was certainly not enough to get CAG across the line in that 9th round. And so 3 map points now for Shopify Rebellion as we enter the CAG timeout, a 60-second window for them to try and formulate a plan to push this one to OT.
And again, a reminder, as Sparky calls the timeout for CAG, I don't believe the entirety of the team speaks English. There are a couple. Zach is certainly very good with his English and can relay the information from Sparky very, very well. Others can maybe pick up a little bit as it's being put down. But yeah, it does also mean for Seth and Shopify Rebellion, they do now have 3 rounds to close this out, and he can formulate an attacking plan or two. Double-digit kills for Surf, double-digit as well for DD, 12 and 6. But 3 rounds now required for CAG by VARREL as the timeout expires.
Yeah, nervous moments now for CAG, but I think for Shopify Rebellion, and this is the phase of the match where they will be looking to lock in, and it was a strength for them yesterday, and we haven't seen probably too much today so far to subvert that expectation. Down to basement, so a good opportunity for CAG to maybe fight back some ground. Should be a favorable objective for them. See how this one unravels. Of course, the triple commit from CAG. It's going to cripple any shield play from Canadian or the rest of Shopify Rebellion. Yet to be seen if that's going to be influential enough, though, to
5 seconds left.
push this one to overtime. Based on the positioning and the util investment here from CAG offsite, expecting some action to take place a distance from the objective. Question remains, CAG looking to play for the early peel, or are they looking to commit and play offsite for a large portion of this round?
Yeah, I mean, it's the risk versus reward, I think, for CAG. Best off maybe trying to find that early pick. Oh, hang on. Ambi, good information onto Sharif towards construction. Has the yellow ping. Forces Sharif to backpedal over towards bedroom, where he does have a bit of help from Chipitsu, so a double stack for these two. They can go back down main stairs, covered by Zaka, so it is a pathway back to safety. Zaka actually, funnily enough, finds a kill onto Surf from said safety position, but what that means is he's gone back down main stairs. That might mean Sharif and Chipitsu could be a little bit stuck here. And Chipitsu then caught from Canadian. Sharif still remains on this top floor, and while it is 4 versus 4, at the moment, his position is known. He looks very apprehensive to make his way down main stairs.
Well, he's being hunted down by Shopify Rebellion.
At the window, Rexon.
Oh, radar.
Oh, the timing. Oh my goodness, the timing! From almost getting wallbanged through the window, Sharif kills Ambi and knows there's one outside Jim window. Does he think about the vault out the window?
No, Rex is watching it.
Well, he's definitely thinking about it. Instead, he'll go for the drop. He's dead. Yeah, he very much just got corralled. Canadian ready and waiting. Gets the freebie.
Given his position and hunted down by the Solar Snake, Sharif has done a pretty damn good job there to get away with that and find value.
But it does leave us equal. All tied up for manpower inside of the server on this first map point. Advantage for Shopify Rebellion. 3 gas babes for DD. Nitrocell for Anaton. 2 tugger payload calls remaining from Canadian. Certainly a good belt of utility for Rexon on the Zofia. One thing they do like, though, is vert pressure. These floorboards have not been opened up. Breaching round available, and breaching charge available too. They will be low on time in this round for Shopify Rebellion. It will be a send into the site with less than 30 seconds, as the final secondary hard breach to open up kitchen will be successful.
Big pressure moment now for these two teams. Shopify looking to lock out the map, at CAG clinging on, but in a good position here defensively. Nitro in pocket,
And a smoke still up for DD Man.
Didn't get the space to drone out dirt. Will be they aware of Zaka's position straight down the hallway. Aggressive from Anaton. Eats the jug and payload call. Still 2 up. 8 seconds left. Double push down main stairs from Spoit and Rexon. They acquire the kit. In through Moto. Into Church. Ready and waiting was DD. Spoit does get the kit down. Anaton from behind. That's one way to finish this round off. And the knife as well. 6-4. That's 1 down for CAG, 2 to go.
Yeah, and a small glimpse, I think, for maybe the first time in this play-in stage of Shopify Rebellion making some errors on that roam clear. Probably sensing that they could have been a little bit more clinical. Sharif was on radar there, yet Ambi got caught out. And whilst eventually there was the cutoff, unfortunately, half the round had gone, 3 versus 3. It allowed CAG defensively to reposture, had good util. Naturally, a very difficult objective to attack into, but Shopify Rebellion, I'm sure, will sense they could have played it a little better. Either way, though, 2 prime opportunities now on the next 2 sites.
It's intriguing to see Jujutsu and Sharif both 5 and 8. Statistically, they are your fraggers for CAG. Still room, still time for them to rise to the occasion. In fairness, this entire lobby has been pretty equal in terms of what we've seen from all of the individuals. Surf and DD have been the 2 standouts for their respective teams. Gym Bedroom for the 11th round. We see the Maestro now from DD.
Yeah, not the most frequented defensive operator at the moment. In this kind of meta where the defense normally positionally needs to be proactive, always gun up and ready for
We did
the
see
split
some
push.
in the APL finals. We did see some big moments from the Maestro.
Yeah. No, I trust DD. It's just not typical in the Big 26. If there's anyone that can make it work, though, it may well be him. And look, fortunately, Shopify Rebellion don't, for instance, respond with a Brava or a Twitch. And so that will naturally fortify that Maestro Evil Eye utility and just make it a little more difficult for the attack to contend with.
This is interesting from Anaton, the way that he's sitting in church. Obviously, he can play off of his Valkyrie cameras, along with the Maestro cameras, so he'll be the dedicated cam watcher at the moment if he's just going to be sitting towards church.
Keeper deployed.
Zambi slips his way up top red stairs.
On camera.
Yeah, on camera. The Rebellion should know that they're in a position here where it's not a cash extension. There's not a lot of con pressure. What's the play?
Does Anaton go from basement
Pull?
up through secret and go for the nitro here?
We could go secret side.
It's a risky play, but
Well, he hasn't been droned out. He has definitely not been droned.
I really like this playmaking potential.
While he hasn't been droned, I think Shopify Rebellion should be clued on to the fact that CAG are up to something. But the lack of pressure towards cash as Anaton sits secret.
Oh, Ambi will think it's clear.
Ambi
he didn't get
does
the warning.
indeed think it's clear. All clear on the radar. That's the message received. Here comes
Oh,
Anaton,
timing.
spots him. The timing is impeccable. But not only does he spot him, he doesn't follow, he pushes up red stairs. They'll think there's no one pushing behind. As Jujutsu got the opening kill, that's a freebie for Anaton. Made to work for it in the end. But in the end, free. Knows there's one outside as DD finds the kill onto Surf. It's only Spoit left. Position known at the balcony. CAG are going to get us to all 12 rounds of regulation. No kit, no time, no chance for Spoit. It's 6-5. CAG 1 round away from overtime.
Yeah, I really love that from Anaton and CAG. It's the kind of strategy where instead of playing super defensively and trying not to lose the game, they wanted to bring it back into their hand. They're playing to win, right? You're bringing the info of the Maestro and the Valk. You're sending Anaton down below for the late flank or the Nitro, and he plays it perfectly. The preamble to that, sure, you could argue a little bit lucky that he didn't go up the stairs and then get caught by Ambi, but if anything, that was just really good presence of mind and composure from him to not go up onto that first floor. He remained hidden and then didn't spray front door, was patient again, hit the flank. Rest of the team did their job sight, and overall well played by CAG. Now 1 away from OT.
Opening kills 11 rounds played, only a single failure to convert. It's been prominent, it's been important.
Wall reinforced.
It's not the be and all though, and we head to what could be a troublesome site. Cache CCTV, it is typically the tertiary site within the APAC region.
10 seconds to go.
And they did fail to defend it successfully earlier in the 9th round. CAG must now defend it to force overtime. A reminder, it's their map pick, and this match in itself is an elimination game from the Esports World Cup.
That's exactly right. No second chances. Brutal format. It's already 8 teams down to 4, and another 2 will depart at the end of today's proceedings.
And another 14 then joins tomorrow.
Then the party begins. This is the preamble.
Ambi with a little bit of a lurk over towards Oil Pit. Last time out it was, if you recall, guys, that rush, the blitz, secret up red stairs. That's where Shopify Rebellion found 2 quick early kills on this side. Made it pretty comfortable for them.
Yeah, they can't leverage that, of course, now with the triple shield ban, but they'll still bring the ROUs. They'll flex a little bit with flank watch from the gridlock below. Zaka's getting crunched lounge, but just able to escape red. Critical that he stays alive and can now post up on the staircase.
Oh, is that going to roll? Oh my goodness.
There's nothing worse than when a frag grenade doesn't dislodge a castle barricade.
This is going to be a time factor. Of course, this castle barricade will be dealt with, but it will take a bit more time. Although, Hannington actually in lounge. This is aggressive from him on the clash. What's the plan here? This is strange from Hannington. This is very strange. Frag grenade. This could be disastrous. Hannington is playing with fire. He's able to just stay alive. And while he is being a nuisance, forces out some gridlock stingers, he is still alive. 60 seconds remaining.
And he's going to stall out any potential for a push through secret red stairs. Chibisu gets the opener for CAG.
As Void falls, there's that opening kill. It's been so important. But Ambi and Canadian strike back together. Sharif, an angle found at the doorway to beat out to Ambi. Didi is down. For what it's worth, it's a 2 versus 2 at the end of regulation.
Oh, what can Rexon find over towards Garage? Peppering over towards that lounge position. 40 seconds on the clock. Canadian needs to help with this pinch.
What can Canadian do? Does still have kit, has the information. No, now must know he is towards outside. Sharif, oh, what a headshot! As Canadian went for the swing, he falls and Rexon finds himself with it all to do. And so little time as he acquires the kit, he gets the kill, but quite literally on 1 single health point.
A double smoke.
Didi got revived. You say it's impossible. Some would say 99.99% chance that we will go to overtime. Rexon says, make it 100.
Oh, wow. CAG. I don't know how Sharif has gotten away with that
I don't know
play.
how Anaton's gotten away with that lounge play. Skating on thin ice.
But again, like I said, after the previous round, I love the way that CAG are playing. They are playing to win. They are aggressing. They're being proactive. They're not playing scared. They're not doing the classic CAG at an international land, giving up when all hope seems lost. They have fought their way back to overtime. And for the first time here at the Esports World Cup, Shopify Rebellion are under some pressure.
Yeah. Don't forget, you think about Lair, an 8-1 record for CAG is the deciding map.
Ooh. Could you imagine?
So we go overtime and CAG get double defense. Straight to basement. This right here, right now, is the most pressurized moment for Shopify Rebellion. An update, by the way, on the B stream. Spoiler, 3-second countdown. 3, 2, 1. Michael?
Map 3, 7-7 between Tyloo and Alula Club.
Winner of that will play
10
Fnatic.
seconds to insertion.
Right now, Fnatic has no idea who they're playing.
50-50.
While our focus returns to begin overtime.
Attackers
Oh, what a day of
locate and
siege
defuse the bomb.
here at the Esports World Cup.
Aren't you glad it's a 2-week tournament this time?
Oh, loving it. We'd almost be halfway through last year.
This location is free of hostiles.
So as CAG remain on defense, it's 3 straight rounds heading back to Church Arsenal. Shopify Rebellion did win this site on attack back in the 7th round, so it's not impossible for them. Like you said before, CAG not playing scared. They've more than happily played these aggressive positions. Nitrocell, well off, but I like the idea, the execution a little off.
It's all been about intent over the last handful of rounds from CAG. It's been really, really good to see.
If you're going to go down fighting, and I think that's what CAG fans would want right now. They're not going down, though. They're fighting. And while that Nitrocell didn't connect, you would imagine for Shopify Rebellion, there's that inadvertent pressure being applied that you don't know how they're going to play, where they're going to be playing. And so you look at the way Surf is just sitting garage right now.
It's been some of the less predictable siege they've been able to face so
on
far.
ping, on camera.
Yep.
What they can do with that, though. Aniton knows this is being watched. Does he go for a pre-fire swing? He does. Surf must know he's on camera now with that sharp angle pre-fire swing.
Well, he's either on camera or he's got walls, so he's definitely on camera.
He's looking around and pop.
Oh, good presence of mind there from Surf.
Well, Surf, by the way, 10-7. I think he started 10-4.
He's had some big clutches over the course of this map, and Shopify Rebellion may call upon him once more here in overtime. Slow build up then as they look to go through the checklist.
It's got to the point where Canadian is second fragging. They need the likes of Rexit and Ambi to have a big round at some point here in overtime.
Ooh. Aniton thinks about the Nitro. DD also having one in pocket for the late round denial here for CAG by VARREL. More checklist work from Shopify Rebellion. Final vert now. 8 shots remain for Surf on that skeleton key.
Well, they're going to have a couple of flashes. Kwan Hive Launcher still has 2 charges available. We're going to go the double vert down as well from top to below, just for safety, probably because of the Nitrocells. Diddy's got 1 Church, Aniton's got 1 Arsenal. 40 seconds. Shopify Rebellion guys are going to leave not a lot of time on the clock in this round.
Yeah, it needs to be clean from here. 30 seconds on the clock. Can Ambi and Rex and make this pinch work blue side?
Information gain on the radar for Ambi, but you should preemptively know that blue's going to be stacked. Double, indeed. Jibitsu, 8 the Jugger payload call. Now spotted by the Grim Bees. 20 seconds remains. Lovely pick from Zaka as Canadian caught at the hatch, but they lose Jibitsu as Rexon then falls there after. So low on time. They need to be clean and clinical for both teams. Surf, big kill. Spoit as well. It's down to a 1 versus 1. Into 8 seconds left. Spoit does not have kit. Sharif can play the time. If he wants, he can hide, but he'll stand up and take the fight. But the smoke obscures the vision, and time will expire. Cyclops have got map point against Shopify Rebellion.
Where has this come from? CAG fight back. 4 rounds in a row and a massive clutch there. Match point or map point for CAG. And Shopify Rebellion now well and truly under the pump.
Well, maybe under the pump. They go defense. They had a very strong defensive half, but it now feels like it's been a long time between drinks where they've had a lot of success. CAG have now won 4 of the last 5 rounds, and there's no opportunity for Super to call a timeout, rally the troops, and even if you win this round, Guz, defense then again is there for CAG, likely then Gym Bedroom, difficult site. Still, it's now must win. 2 straight for Shopify Rebellion is required. Otherwise, opening map goes the way of CAG by VARREL.
Activating jammer.
I'm sure all the APL fans
It was 6-3,
home,
by the way. 6-3.
all the APL fans
10
back
seconds to
home
go.
staying up late for this match will be starting to get, in some ways, a little bit nervous, but also very hopeful that there may be a result in this one favorable for CAG. Some good, positive stage and positive intent over the last handful of rounds has been rewarded. So we now return to the original band set from the first half. It's triple hard breach from Shopify Rebellion, a rarity. CAG with a more traditional set, but it leaves Aniton available to play shield. And once again, the Monty will be implemented in the comp here for the basement hit.
That then prompts the clash. Shopify Rebellion playing it frequently back in the first half, and it will see a reappearance here for Basement. Now, cast out my back. Last time we saw the double play, Canadian and Ambi with the Nitro up main. Hopefully CAG have noted that and remembered in case they go for it once more. Ambi as well, notably in gym.
But he does have a web of mute jammers. They may not be aware of his exact position, and this could be a huge defining moment on Clubhouse.
Anaton's going for the full clear, but does he ensure that it's a full clear?
Oh, Devel dealt with that. Anaton certainly is being very cautious with his positioning. Ambi could be in some big trouble. Indeed, trouble has been found. As Saka finds the opening kill, Ambi's been dealt with.
Ooh.
For Shopify Rebellion, it's 4 men back on site as Canadian lurks towards main stairs. He's getting peppered. Can he stay alive? Nitrocell says this could be huge. He captures only one, but one is better than none. And it's Canadian looking to make his way safely back down. No, caught through the floorboard. Sharif headshot sits down their leader. CAG maintained that extra player advantage heading into the final minute. And they keep Anaton on the Monty.
Yeah.
It's set up now for the APAC team.
Yeah, that ends up being a massive net positive for CAG. They'll be thrilled with that result. They've been well rewarded with a good clear here in the first 2 minutes of the round. But now it's a matter of conversion. Rexon deploying his smokes. Surf, no nitro remains. Spoit, negative at the moment. He'll be looking to have impact with the TCSG. High pressure for both teams as we enter the final 50 seconds.
And a lot of information or gathering available for CAG. The Grimbees from Chupitsu, the radar usage as well for Sharif. They do still have a smoke with Anaton. And most importantly, they do still have Anaton alive on that Monty. Full health. Sharif through dirt. The push now coming. Anaton looking for the plant. There are no nitrocells available to stop this Monty. And it's Boyd that cannot stop Sharif. DD2 collects the kill onto Rexon. It's all down to Surf. He got a 4K earlier. He gets 2 now and forces an intriguing position. The guard break onto Anaton, the best shield player in the APAC region. Surf will not get through this wall. APAC will get the map against Shopify Rebellion and put the sword to their throat.
Oh my, what a result for Sig.
There's no fear. You look in their eyes when they lose a round, they're kind of having a bit of fun with it. They're enjoying it. They're laughing about things that went wrong rather than beating themselves up. And this, notoriously, after year, has been APAC's biggest problem. And it is a problem in NA. We've seen it before. We've seen what happens when things start to get out of control. But Shopify Rebellion, we move to border. They look comfortable on this map. My reservations are held for the second half for CAG, but it doesn't matter because right now, this is an elimination match. This is a promotion match, if you will, into groups. And on that note, boys, I think I'll let you do the professional talking.
Thank you, Rob. So we head to border second map of this play-in phase 2 final, semi-final, whatever you want to really call it. At the end of the day, this is to get into group stage, the big stuff. Loser is out of the tournament. At the moment, CAG by VARREL, that's right. There is no error at the top of your screen. They've won the opening map. Can they now knock out Shopify Rebellion, who need to now win 2 straight, or they will be flying home very, very early.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this map, but of course, being from APAC, I'm equally
You've
nervous.
seen the ending.
We've had hope how many times in the past? Year after year, event after event, and time after time. These teams from the APAC region tend to just fall short of the mark. They trip at the final hurdle. Can CAG pull off the upset of this play-in phase? So many people, including myself, and I'm sure you as well, confidently had Shopify Rebellion not just to even make it through to groups, but to be the #1 team from this 8 in terms of how they look on paper.
And from the play-in teams, yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely, yeah.
And that's being tested right now.
And if CAG can make it through, they will join Weibo and Enterprise. And don't forget, that'll be the 3 teams fighting for their region for 2 slots at the Osaka Major.
Big implications.
Well, let's get underway. The Monty was banned away from Canadian, so he hops straight onto the black bit. Solid Snake also the ban along with the Zami and Clash as Sharif with a Nitrocell. They've got 4 of them, Guz. Hey, they've got themselves a lot of C4s. And there's one of them thrown to Canadian, gets him down to half health already. That's a good start if you're CAG. Here comes Surf, caught though inside of Towers. Oh, Sharif was ready. Turned around very, very sharply to find that opening kill onto the Dockerby. Canadian really wanting to push forward. Top of these stairs. Sharif, though, not minded by these flame bolts. Rexon now losing quite a bit of utility in trying to deal with Sharif. Can he get some help? No. Ambi finds the angle. Help, though, did eventually arrive. DD Man made his way over towards Office to find that kill onto Canadian. They maintain the advantage and a lot of time and utility expended to deal with Sharif.
And that's courtesy of Sharif really valuing his life, not taking unnecessary risk, and being able to maneuver around the layer of utility that was sent his way. So credit to Sharif, but credit to CAG in affording themselves an advantage here. 70 seconds now remain for Shopify Rebellion to formulate a response. Ambi will forfeit his position down over towards Passport and likely link up with Rexon over towards top east. Spoit as well is still alive, and he'll be looking to have a bigger impact here on map 2.
Still triple nitrocell available. Leaves CAG in a very strong position here late round. Couple that with the extra player advantage. But let's be real, it's these 3-4 Shopify Rebellion that need a big game. Ambi, Spoit, Rexon. Nitrocell from DD. Will not connect. Ambi, entry into Office has been established. DD can get information with the heartbeat sensor. There's a bit of information indeed. He's found at least 2 of the 3. Zoto counters to throw down from Chipitsu. They've got Armory locked down, they've got Fountain locked down, and he still has a Nitrocell up close. Salmas have also been shot out. There goes Rexon's head. I don't see a way through now for Shopify Rebellion. Too much to do with so little time. Can clear out at least the prone player. Zaka then on the swing. It's CAG that open up Border with the opening round.
Yeah, really good defensive siege here on Border from start to finish. Great play over towards waiting to kick off proceedings, courtesy of Sharif. Great early nitro as well onto Canadian, who was low and then taken down. Here was that shot from Sharif, mind you. So a clean shot, and then wasted a significant portion of the time. Take that away from the attack. And it resulted in a filter effect over towards Office. And it's a positive start for this Japanese outfit.
Yeah, positive start, but it is Armory Archives. If you want to put a little pin on it and just say little asterisk, that's the side they really should be winning. I think the real test will now begin over the next 2 rounds to see what they can do on the scoreboard. Defense, Border. I did look at the statistics for both of these 2 teams just to get a little bit more information for those watching along at home. They're both pretty much equal in terms of attacker win rate, around that 50% mark. Defensively, though, Shopify Rebellion 55%, CAG by VARREL at 66%.
5 seconds left.
But you add in more context, of course, those are localized within their regions, international events, and, well, those numbers are probably then better for Shopify Rebellion with the added factor of higher strength opponents. Ambi with 2 early kills. I'm going to be honest, a bit of pressure on him to be the one to find a lot of kills on a map like Border, especially in this attacking half. It's a good sign for him and for the Rebellion if he can get hot.
Swapping mag.
So it's Anaton and Sharif to lurk on the first floor then here in round number 2. Those up above in Chibisu, Zaka, and DD covering their respective corners of the map. And so a pretty open defense currently from CAG. Looking to lock down each corner of Border, which is certainly a pretty typical approach. Shopify Rebellion likely in response will try and isolate these defenders. It is difficult to support one another on the defense here with this style of setup.
Well, Zaka caught early towards security.
He won't get support, Zaka, so he needs to play for himself. Chibisu actually does elect to rotate over towards security room, though, so that's interesting. It'll leave a weakness elsewhere, though, for CAG. And DD Man's even getting in on the action, so a big stack and a rotation from CAG, electing not to leave Zaka isolated.
There is no map control right now for Shopify Rebellion, which is a little bit concerning. Surf slips into Archives. First one really into the building. Canadian towards waiting, so finally Shopify Rebellion starting to take a little ground. And be caught at the front door. There is one. Bot Metal spots the head that didn't take the initial shot. It's Canadian that found the opening kill. Surf able to double down as well. East Des. This is much better from the North American team. Surf has found 2. CAG have lost too many too quickly. And Anaton as well. Top Metal will fall, and Sharif by himself. And this may be our first flawless of the entire series. Never mind, I've cursed it. But it will be a round win for Shopify Rebellion. Oh, hang on. Another one-tap headshot. Sharif, if he can find one quickly, there's no way in which he could surely win this. Well, this could be huge. Quick rush back up to the top floor for Sploit, because suddenly things got very real. Okay, Canadian just kept them cool, calm, and collected at the end. Woo.
Very, very.
Well, they win the round, and it started and looked as if it was going to be flawless, and yet it ends up being a little nervy.
Just a little.
Ooh. Nice drive from Sharif, but Shopify Rebellion deservedly get their first round here on Border.
Yeah, they do. Took a little while for them to formulate the map clear initially, but able to flood that kill feed, take space, and with kind of setup that CAG did employ, it was naturally going to be a little trickier for them to find
found
trades.
those 3 kills so quickly as well.
Yeah, they just couldn't really respond then, Shopify.
So Event Workshop coming up next for the 3rd round. If we can load in.
Who's got the toaster?
I was going to say that, who's got the toaster, but we're on land. Hopefully no one's got the toaster. All right, now we're in. And a tech pause has been called, though, by Zaka, maybe in due part for the slight delay there on the loading screen.
Now we'll look to get that resolved with a likely rehost.
Oh, and it just lets us breathe for a second. It is quite hot over here in Paris, guys. It's very warm inside the studio when you've got a series like this as well. Very easy to overblow the gasket. The gasket. In this case, maybe even overblow the PC. I don't know what's happened, but we did. So for reference, of course, no one at home got to see it, but the classic loading stall out. And then when we did finally get in, tac pause was called, so we calmed things down. 1-1 here on Border. A good sign, though, I think, for Shopify Rebellion. When you think about what was an extensive run from 6-3 down for CAG to close out the opening map of Clubhouse, to then win the first round of Border, I think it was very important for Shopify Rebellion to win that round in that fashion too. Very dominant, plant down. And then a tech pause here, well, they don't get to discuss anything. Maybe just that extra time to just breathe, sit back, relax, and reset.
Yeah, so early on in the match as well. And potentially a long way to still go in this best of 3 series if Shopify Rebellion can lock back in, and so far looking decent here on Border. Being able to suppress some of that positive siege that we saw really develop towards the tail end of map number 1. If you are just joining us, it was 8-6 in favor of CAG. They closed that out with a 5-round streak, won 6 of the last 7, so it was pretty impressive. I don't think it necessarily came out of nowhere. The scoreline up until that point was probably not reflective of the competitiveness of the match.
That was kind of the discussion that we had as well. Post-map coming into Border was, it was a 6-3 comeback, but the rounds prior to that were so competitive, so close. So it's not really that surprising. Just getting everyone back into the lobby now. Mainly waiting on CAG, and all 5 straight back in at once.
Yep. Quick rehost is a good rehost.
And whenever you only see one admin or referee on the stage, that's usually a good sign, rather than we had, I think, 5.
What's the record? I think it was 8.
We had 8 yesterday. I think the concern for me, in the overarching storyline of the series, will be for especially CAG, if they not only lose this map, but if they lose it badly, how easy would it be for them mentally to think, oh, it's happening again?
Yeah, I don't really know how to truly analyze the mental component of this matchup, because I think from my perspective, I probably didn't anticipate map 1 to develop in the way that it did, with CAG in particular playing
so positively towards the tail end of map 1. So what that may entail for the second year of Border as we do actually load back into the lobby in the background, I think we'll just have to wait and see. It's a round by round case.
We're in uncharted territories, really, I guess, with them winning the first map.
Yeah.
Well, let's load back in. Vent Workshop, third round. And in terms of, I guess, the player storylines that we started to develop coming into Border, you put the kind of the focus on Ambi, put the focus on the likes of Sharif and Chibitsu 2 rounds in, and those guys have started well on this map, as expected. Even Rexon with 3 assists, he's been active, involved.
So Workshop to go then for round 3. And then an open hold above here facilitated by the mirror of CAG. And that will aid in the security hold, which has the flow-on effect of making the entry a challenge. And that was a discussion point heading into this map, just how eager CAG are going to be to defend the perimeter of the map. Generally expected here on Border, but there is certainly levels to it, just how aggressively and how eagerly teams will prevent the attack from entering the building. Shopify Rebellion, though, naturally is not a team that will be against slow build-ups.
Oh, my goodness.
The opposing approach here, though, in round 3 with quick take over towards East Stairs, and Rexon almost rewarded with a pick over towards 90.
Yeah, and it's probably the one entry point on this site where it should be comfortable for Shopify Rebellion. You're not really going to extend all the way East Stairs for Vent Workshop. You'll play above directly, maybe really just kind of defend it the way you would Armory and Archives, but without any potential extension towards East. Rexon going for a little lurk here down the main hallway and should catch a free kill onto Anaton. Aggression pays off for Rexon as he finds his first kill of the map. A wonderful opening kill for Shopify Rebellion.
Still, though, a lot of pressure to clear on top floor, and that's part of it. Zaka in the grave. DD still, though, over towards Fountain.
Point armory position taken. MP to follow suit. Top floors is there. DD, though, towards Fountain. He was the last stand. He falls as well easily to the vendetta of MP. Looking all too easy again for Shopify Rebellion. Second round now into the third has looked pretty comfortable up until though Sharif arrives. As he did in the second round, he may do so again here in the third. And he's got Chibitsu for company this time. Impact from below. But he's also got a death mark on his head. As Canadian goes to the plant inside of server, Chibitsu was too preoccupied. Sharif caught by Canadian. A 2-1 lead to begin here on Border for the North American club.
I really loved the approach that they were able to take in that round. Snappy take, East Stairs, and whilst it didn't immediately net a kill for Rex, and it just laid a lot of pressure on that top floor extension from CAG. A couple of questions posed heading into this map, what gun skill is going to look like for Shopify Rebellion and their ability to clear head-on positions and take these fights on. And I think that round has shown that they are very much going to be able to take that battle head-on with success. 2-1 lead, additional bans, both focused on information. It's the Valkyrie and the Deimos now unavailable.
Early timeout as well from Sparky for CAG by VARREL. So 2-1. It was a similar point actually back on Clubhouse when Super called his timeout for Shopify Rebellion. Sparky does the same here on Border. Expecting this to be attacker-sided on the map overall. So CAG with one defensive round isn't awful. They do need to win though. Armory Archives again at minimum. Imagine that's going to be coming up very, very shortly.
I will say I love Sparky.
I was going to say, is he covering his mouth to stop any lip reading? It's like in the
on the football side.
Yeah, the football with the play sheet. And
yeah.
Let's get back underway. Get a reminder, the bands Valkyrie and Deimos back back to Armory and Archives. Huge round coming up for CAG. This is the round you got to win. Just kind of keep the pace, because the last 2 rounds now, Shopify Rebellion have looked very comfortable with their entries, able to get pretty early advantages and then capitalize. Opening round Armory Archives, honestly, CAG won that comfortably. But then Shopify Rebellion win the other sites comfortably. So as we go back to this site once again, if you're CAG and you lose this, then you're 3-1 down, it's very quickly the snowball effect that can take place.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Blitz, Glaz, attacker repick. Throwing the Thatcher, and this could be an Archives hit.
Yeah, this will likely be direct. Look at the spawn positions. He's spawned for Shopify Rebellion. Thatcher for those Nitro Cell denials.
CAG, the early positioning as well, by the way, is all the way around security, around office, around the hallway. Nothing really towards Archives.
They've got Anaton.
They've got Anaton, though, in lockers. If Shopify Rebellion go really, really quickly right now, the site is somewhat vulnerable, but they haven't.
Yeah, they've drawn out a rotation from the defense. They could go for a follow-up plan now off the back of that. Do we see the commit?
Well, if they can get rid of Anaton as a kill, because he's going to be the biggest one to stop them with the glasses activated. Candela's throwing smokes as well. Barbed wire still up. This is going to be the power play now from Shopify Rebellion. Anaton's going to be the best man to deal with this. DD as well to help out with the gas babes. Canadian going for the plant. Here's the Nitro Cell. Has that been stopped? Indeed it has. Canadian will get this plant down, and this is going to be so difficult now for CAG to retake with Spoit still up on the Glaz. MB finds the opening kill. Sharif, no presence. And Anaton on 1 HP. This should be a stolen round for Shopify Rebellion, and at the window, Chipisu falls, so does Anaton. It's a snatch and grab on Armory and Archives. Happens every so often, but in such a big series, Shopify Rebellion, they have pulled it off. There's so little time remaining. As Canadian falls, Rexon serve, just of course need to make sure that DD Man can't stick it. Rexon with 3 at the end, at 3-1 lead. Here come the Rebellion.
What a play from Rex. Huge impact in that round. Not just kills, but played the role of the Thatcher to perfection. Prevented the Nitro Cell from denying plant, and by forcing a post on that site with the positions they held and the players still up, Shopify Rebellion, as some may say, had a 99.99% chance of being able to confirm that round. They do, extending that lead 3-1.
Very risky play, that Archives rush. If a Nitro Cell happens to connect onto Canadian, more often than not, you've lost the round now as the attacking team. More often than not. Not impossible with the Glad still up and other pieces available, but you're losing a big part of why you play that rush round. But the Thatcher, and everyone covering and Spoit covering, everyone was well set up, and there wasn't enough outside of that single Nitro Cell in stopping that plant. To me, it didn't look like CAG were ready for it. I don't think they expected it. Now, naturally on this site, if you do lose Armory and Archives, you probably want to go back and repeat.
5 seconds to go.
Well, you say that, but we are certainly in a more modern meta where repeats have largely fallen out of fashion, but given the map and the style,
you're going to go back here.
It makes sense, yeah. Not completely unfounded. And as expected, it's a complete shuffle from Shopify Rebellion for their composition heading into the round. Naturally not going to take the risk of a double down with that direct approach. At least that's probably not the anticipation.
They're very similar to their opening round setup, although the difference is they go drone heavy. So they bring the Twitch, they bring the clutches from Brava, and the Sens as well. So that's the main setup. They still bring the A's, they still bring the Nomad, but they're dropping, the Blackbeard isn't brought. They don't really bring the Dockerby this time. Didn't really get much out of it back in the opening round. Haven't seen it since. And probably expecting, and this is where it's like kind of that game of chess, well, they're going to play trap now because they don't want to get rushed again. So we'll bring the drones. Love this from Rexon. Not the first time we've seen Rexon with a quick entry kill. Very pivotal play from him in this half for his team. Up to 6 kills now for Rexon. Flashes in. Saka pushing the window. Catches Spoit in the head. And then turns around to shut down Ambi. A big reversal in a power play moment from CAG. Surf needed that one onto DD. Followed up onto Anaton. We're tied 2 versus 2. in a crucial 5th round of Armory and Archives. Halfway through. Sharif and Zaka versus Canadian and Surf.
Well, Surf will chill inside. He's waiting for Canadian to bring that diffuser into the objective. It's allowed Zaka and Sharif respectively now to reposition.
Surf captures Sharif. Zaka losing out. Another huge round from Surf. As he showed back on Clubhouse, he can make big waves. 4-1 lead, 4 straight for Shopify Rebellion.
Oh, that is impact. What a play from Surf.
And an entry from Rexon again.
Yeah, he's not shied away. He's been facilitated, of course, to make these entries. You know, we saw Canadian hold the line, the U2 dump top east, but he found that route, found the shot. A little disappointing here from Shopify Rebellion to not find the trade onto Zaka.
4 at this moment.
Yeah. But then Surf inside of Armory.
Clutch again.
Yeah.
Another 4K round 1 for Shopify Rebellion, courtesy of Surf, as he did back on Clubhouse.
That was nuts.
He's had a very, very good day today so far for his team. 16 and 11 across the 2 maps. I was going to say, do you go one more time? But the answer to that is very much no. We will go Bathroom Towers for the final round of this first half. And you've got to give credit to Shopify Rebellion. You lost the first map. You're facing elimination. You're going into border attack where you need to be aggressive. You can't posture. You can't hesitate. And we haven't seen that from them. We've seen quick entries. We've seen them dominate the opening kills 4-1 in their favor. They have not shied away from the pressure of facing elimination.
Claymore mine prime.
Drone activated.
Well, we've seen plenty of fight from CAG over the course of this series so far. If they stand a chance here on border, we need to see it once more. U2 stack early through offers from Shopify Rebellion. They're not shying away from taking this quick map control.
Oh my
goes all
goodness!
the way!
Surf has just rode down the hatch. DD Man could not believe it, and Canadian goes for the plant. They want to end this quick. They want Lair. Can Sharif find a way to stop this? Yes, he can! Oh, the smoke dissipated at the last second. You say Sploit, well, what was he watching? Anaton falls to Ambi, but the kit lay on the ground. Surf, though, sits inside a bathroom. Sharif still inside of Tellers, and they do still have top floor control with Zaka and Jibitsu.
Yeah, it's an awkward round for Shopify Rebellion despite having a player advantage. This vert is meaningful for CAG. It's awkward for both teams, though. We're only at the midpoint of the round.
Well, Sharif can watch Kit and watch, of course, the window, and then Jibitsu and Zaka, well, mainly now Jibitsu, will watch top floor. Still, the player advantage for Shopify Rebellion. They just need to probably reset a little bit. Time is on their side. Well and truly over a minute remaining, and a defense that seems like it's scrambling. Surf, though, pressuring this hatch, wanting to just occupy them. Spoit, by the way, made his way in the window and died immediately. Sharif was still inside of Talus, never moved. But what a big battle won by Rexon. Sharif, another one. 3 in the sight from Sharif. Reconfirms where this kit is. At the window, and Jibitsu will drop. But it does give top floor control now to Shopify Rebellion, but largely does not matter because kit is controlled by the defense. A critical 45 seconds remains.
And Sharif is in a high-risk position. He will not be able to escape that tuck. Jibitsu
here comes
needs
Ambi.
help, but he can't get it.
Here comes Ambi. Wonderful headshot with the DMR. Sharif's got 3. He now needs the ace. As Rexon and Ambi march towards him, a low-health Sharif must clutch. Bigger than any player we've seen in this series. Time may be somewhat on his side, but he has not moved. And they still search, maybe not anticipating him to sit the kit. Red time now approaches. Here come Rexon and Ambi. Sharif will need to spray and keep spraying. He will not have to let go. Oh, what a pre-fire swing from Rexon with 3 seconds on the clock. A 5-1 for Shopify Rebellion puts them closer to that 3rd map.
Sharif probably should have anticipated that. Even
3 seconds left, he just start firing.
Even if he sprays, though, to be fair.
I think he still dies.
Yeah. I think his name was on the gravestone, but regardless.
I think they needed a second. Did CAG? I think they needed 2 defensive, 5-1 down. It's a long way back here. Even
What
though
about this from Surf,
Oh,
though?
man, that was lovely from Surf. Well, he's been a difference maker today.
Yeah, Spoid watching the hat shops. They got a little bit unfortunate there. And it was a chaotic round midpoint. Both teams scrambled. Surf was still on site. Sharif committed to the tuck, but then unfortunately meant he was in a tradable position, and Shopify Rebellion were able to problem solve and identify where he was. 5-1 lead Shopify Rebellion, and as much as I would love to say that CAG could bring this back, I think it's a stretch.
By the way, a halftime scheduled timeout. Another minute on that one. Coaches will get to talk. Of course, role swaps. CAG will go on to the attack. Long way back. 5 straight for Shopify Rebellion after CAG won the opening round and did so convincingly. So looking at some of the numbers in terms of the opening kills in that half, big favor in favor of Shopify Rebellion. They got 5 out of the 6 rounds. Rex has got 2 of them. Ambi, Canadian, both 1 each. Surf gets 1, so a good spread performance. In terms of the multi-kills, Surf with a 4K, Rexin with a 4K, so big clutch individual moments. Canadian was able to get Plant down twice successfully, so pretty much everyone on Shopify Rebellion having an impact in the half. On the flip side for CAG, 8 from Sharif, 6 from Zaka, but 1 and 2 from the likes of Anaton, Didi, and Chibitsu leaves them well short on firepower as the scheduled halftime break is coming to an end. Second half coming up right now.
Well, let's see then how the second half will develop and whether or not CAG have enough tricks up their sleeve to formulate a comeback. Let's see how the bands as well shape up and how that will determine how the second half then plays out. So Solid Snake and Wamai, 2 very powerful operators in the current meta. Wamai specifically buffed, and so going to take away some of that catch potential, and could mean that direct approaches could be a little more favorable for CAG, hence that ban. And they followed up with his armies, and more emphasis on utility. Ying as well will be taken away, maybe then in response to the Wamai, just some projectile taken out of play. But I don't think anything here is standing out as being too crazy. Armory and Archives to be the opening objective of choice for SR.
Well, who goes into the third map, provided we get there with more pressure? Or is it relatively equal? I think it might be
I don't
equal.
think you'd be able to quantify it and really give it to one team or the other.
Well, job's not done as we begin the second half. Shopify Rebellion go on defense. Not guaranteed to have an easy time here. Need to stay locked in, stay grounded, stay composed to seek that third map, which is required. Reminder, the loser of this series is eliminated from the Esports World Cup. The winner will move on to the group stage.
Jam's ready to activate.
And on the B stream, Fnatic versus Al Yula Club is, I believe, ongoing now.
Well, this lineup from CAG suggesting something interesting may be formulated. The ROUs for coverage, Amaru for quick entry in the hands of Anaton. Is this a alternate take on the Archives directs for CAG? Capital deploying util early.
Well, Surf's going to go for the swing of the window, but he loses out to Sharif, and the frag grenade finds Embi. Well, that's an easy double kill to open up this 7th round.
And they've already got control armor side.
And then Zaka with a shotgun onto Spoit, while this has been absolutely rapid. Didi going for the plant, shield screen up from the ROU. Don't think there's going to be a lot Rexon can do. He doesn't even the Nitro Cell. Plant's gone down. This round is done. What a statement from CAG. On Armory and Archives, they have just swarmed in and taken it with ease to just give a sign of life that maybe on the attack they could do something very special. Rexon himself would have to do something very special to win this round for Shopify Rebellion. Doesn't seem as if he's in much of a hurry, realizing how difficult the task is ahead of him. What a round though from CAG.
Yeah, that first kill coming at the 2:29 mark, fastest of the series so far. Even more impressive that it was from the side of the attack as opposed to a defensive spawn kill, right? They clearly had a plan, able to action it. Wasn't the more traditional Archives direct that we saw from Shopify, but their own little flair working out there with the Armory side focus.
A wonderful execute, and in terms of the team coordination, it seemed like everyone was on the same page.
Meeting the diffuser.
And everyone was also on the same page in terms of pacing. I think that's the most important thing. Sometimes with these fast-paced rush attacks, one or two lag behind in their role, and not everyone's in the right position. But for CAG, it seemed as if everyone was very much in sync. And we're not going to get the repeat bomb site from Shopify Rebellion straight to Vent Workshop. They will play relatively similar in terms of the top floor control as the bomb site moves downstairs. And a change up on the attacker side for Repix. CAG will bring the Docker into Sophia, the Ace, and the Twitch. They will drop the Montang, but keep Anaton on the Blackbeard, interestingly enough. Anaton just 1-5 this game, but double digits for Sharip.
Everyone good? Alright, let's get cracking.
Still only the 2 kills for Chipitsu. Now, he was the #1 rated player in APAC North.
Yeah. You awake the giant, who knows what might happen.
But at the same time, it's been an awfully quiet series as well for Spoit. Just 9 kills, 16 deaths across the 2 maps. We've seen a couple of good comebacks so far here at the Esports World Cup, guys. 5-1, not impossible, an attacker-sided map. Good early statement as well. Quick 7th round now into the 8th. You make this 5-3. It's not too dissimilar as to the scoreline of Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Remember, it was a 6-3 comeback from CAG on Clubhouse.
I think entering the half, I certainly had that doubt that we may not see the same level of proactive play replicated. But that round, I was like, oh, hang on a second.
Well, a slow pace follow-up in the 8th round. A minute expires on the clock already. Slow creep outside of break. There's barbed wire, though. Does deny the ability to go for a quick push in. Flashbang. Ambi's going to eat the Dunker payload call from Chibisu. Looking for a reposition to catch a kill here at the break doorway. Love that onto DD. Don't think he was expecting the angle to have now suddenly been taken. And Anaton will fall. Lovely read from Shopify Rebellion. This will set them up with a 6-2 advantage. Unless Chibisu, Sharip, and Zaka can bring back a 3 versus 5. Desperately need the next kill. Zaka will slip into offers through the smoke. Position should not be known. Although he does just start blasting. Now position is very much known to Canadian inside a fountain. Out of gas babes. But it means he can keep this shotgun up at the close angle position. Zaka needs to swing this. Now at least knows that the smoke holds the close angle. Embi will fall towards Customs, courtesy of Sharip. Zaka, a little stutter step at the drop of the hatch and eventually now makes his way down into bathroom. Surely couldn't find a kill from below. Doesn't opt to shoot initially, but hello, here's Rexen lurking inside of towers, not expecting that position to be held. And with Chibisu falling elsewhere, it's all set up now for Shopify Rebellion to have 4 map points. And Sharip will push up metal stairs to his death. Lair is calling.
And they've looked rock solid here on Border so far. Some smiles being shared by the boys as they're pretty pleased with how Border has developed so far. And while CAG certainly haven't thrown the towel in over the course of this map, I think they're just short of ideas and being able to problem solve their way out of this position. No tactical timeouts, of course, remain for CAG by VARREL. They're on their own now for the remainder of this map, and frankly, I don't think there's too much longer to go here on Border.
Well, they did win 5 straight to win Clubhouse. They need 4 straight to force overtime. And on the attack side, it's
well, we
more
had the discussion earlier.
Even on Border.
We had the discussion on Club, right, that the scoreline maybe wasn't reflective of how close the match was. This one, I think, is.
Yeah, I think this scoreline very much reflects the dominance that we've seen from Shopify Rebellion on Border. By the way, 100% conversion rate on opening kills so far through the 8 rounds. Yep. Little indication to follow coming into this first of 4 map point opportunities. On a map like Border, it's no surprise those entry kills are going to be so important.
5 seconds left. Attacker's objective is to defuse
So back
the
over
bomb.
to Armory and Archives. Technically, if Shopify Rebellion want guns, they could just sit on this site for 4 rounds straight. It is, of course, the best defensive site on the map. Not saying they will, but they do have the option now.
And they bring the clash into play.
Well, this man on our screen, he's the big one. If we, it looks as if we're going Lair. Chibisu needs to stand up. 10-17. You can't have the region's #1 player bottom fragging in an elimination game. Lair is where he needs to make amends. Slips into waiting. Wants out the top of the shield of the clash from Canadian.
Getting us more intel.
Yeah, looking to try and spearhead top east, but that's tough. Shield into clash is not the kind of formula that will favor the attack of CAG. Oh, and it's Surf again. And if that 100% conversion rate continues, Shopify Rebellion have locked in this map.
Yep. The trade, though, slightly delayed. Follows through from Sharif onto Rexon. Sharif then has another chance onto Surf. I think that frag grenade... Did that get stuck on the floorboard or did it fall back down?
I think it bounced back down.
Yeah.
Well, they've at least got a little bit of presence now over towards top east. It has forced Canadian back further over towards 90 for now. You play information on the shield that won't have the immediate counter impact.
You can see Sharif was trying to play off the Joker Pele call from Chibisu, but unable to. Surf was able to answer the call safely. Oh, chance maybe for Sharif on a Canadian. Just the way that he was posturing. Top metal did leave him a little bit vulnerable. MP finds a big kill onto the Chibisu as well. 2 and 8. He has struggled on board up. And Spoit in a really good position towards security. It's starting to fall apart now for CAG. Spoit a double. Well, if he starts to activate, perfectly timed, because we will be going to all 3 maps. The sword leaves merely but a scratch on the throat of Shopify Rebellion. All 3 maps are required.
While CAG started with the sword, the dagger has been stabbed in their back, rightfully so, by the kings of North America. Or maybe the prince, maybe not the king at the moment. They still have a lot of work to do to reclaim that title, but this is where it starts. The EWC journey starts and finishes for one of these teams. Who will it be? We're about to find out.
Thank you, Rob. It sets the stage perfectly. 3rd and final map. Win, and you are into the group stage, where you get a chance to reset a little bit, guys. You're back to best of 1s. You've got a couple of days to play some games, see how you stack up against the teams that make their way in. The loser, their key, will be crushed in front of their very eyes here today. The stories are pretty simple for Shopify Rebellion. A grand final at the Salt Lake City Major surely can't now succumb in play-ins at the Esports World Cup. And for CAG by VARREL, always at this international event is where they drop the ball. The hurdle is once again in front of them. As we head into this final map, who have you got?
Who have I got? Oh, gotta be Shopify Rebellion. That way either my predictions are right, my official predictions also correct. And even if I'm wrong, then CAG win it. I'm happy either way.
But I think that's what makes the storyline for this match so compelling. The more I think about it, both of these teams have so much to lose if it goes against them. Shopify Rebellion, as you mentioned, they want to get back to another grand final. And for CAG, they're looking to ward off the entire mantra around this team and the aura around them. That is that international events are not their forte. This is an opportunity for 2 teams to subvert that. In terms of the band's double shield from Shopify Rebellion. So Anaton has been targeted in this first half. CAG respond with a traditional set of wall denial with the CAG Bandit.
Yeah, important, I think, especially on Lair. Think about top floor as well. Very, very difficult site to attack into. This makes it a bit easier to open up the breach. Do still have the mirror that will need to be dealt with. So the canisters from Ambi can delay. Interestingly, no Azami being brought to the round from Shopify Rebellion. Entry into Ops for Zaka. Secondary hard breach to open up an angle towards that mask wall, where Anaton can then throw through the secondary breach to hopefully open up said wall. Spoit will play it aggressively with a mirror window placed, anticipating this Ops push. Every round so critical. so vital.
It's not just every round, it's every moment. I feel as if there's going to be key moments over the course of this final map that will determine the outcome.
Well, Surf got one on Clubhouse and got another on Border. It's been Surf's series for Shopify Rebellion. Has he got another 4K clutch in him on Lair? Sharif down below Medical with the skeleton key of the buck. And so far, the checklist is just being worked on slowly by CAG. Get ops control, try and open up mask, eventually then mezzanine, and look for a mask plant. That's going to be the aim of the game. Double nitrocell available, plus an added 3 gas babes still up for Canadian. Throws out 1, as I mentioned it. Still a mirror window in pocket for Spoit.
Yeah, slow wind up in this round for CAG. Shopify Rebellion, though, looking settled. Double smoke for Canadian. And triple nitro still remains, or at least double for this defensive lineup. Information gathered. CAG have a read on the hold R6 side.
Set up a sequential breach.
The final hard breach will now be deployed.
A little bit of damage on this point, by the way, towards Office. He'll fall back. It's going to be Surf that goes down first to Anaton. Sharif then finds the kill through the floorboard. Oh, what a headshot from TD. That is such a tight angle, and he goes straight into Mask. Retsim will fall. This top 4 defense has been thwarted so comfortably. Canadian, funnily enough, with the gas bay, found the kill onto DD going for the plant. He denies said plant. Surely, Canadian couldn't do something so exquisite. Zaka gets on. Canadian now has to swing. Knows there's one at the doorway. Sharif covers perfectly. Oh, it's CAG on the attack of Lair that takes the opening round.
Yeah, slow wind up, but then able to pounce. They accounted for the variables in that round from the defense, the lurk below, the positions horizontally, which was facilitated partially with information that was gathered earlier. Some sharp shots were required, and CAG delivering there in round 1. And if that's what we can expect here from CAG over the course of the next few, then...
They won the opening round on Border, and then we know what happened after that, by the way. 5 straight to Shopify Rebellion, so don't get too excited if you're an APAC fan.
I'm getting excited for the next side of choice, though, from Shopify Rebellion. It's over to Dorms for round 2. In my opinion, one of the more dynamic sites that we see in the game right now. It's really intriguing, the tug of war that we typically see on this site. Shopify Rebellion will contend with holding above control, because planning against the Vert is a challenge, but then you risk compromising positions elsewhere. And then CAG on the opposing side, well, Dave will pose the question, are we going to go direct, use the Capital to cover against that Vert? Or do we maybe try and split the attack and try to dislodge this defense that is situated above? I think they're going to go for the latter, given some of the attack repicks that did come through. The Capital out of play. They'll bring the Blitz, though, in for the clear alongside Solid Snake.
The bunks and briefing for the second round. Shopify Rebellion not opting to repeat top floor.
This location. Watch yourself.
Sharif, who started very slow on Clubhouse, has started to get going. He's 25 and 18 now.
Not seeing anything here.
For reference, finished with 11 kills on Clubhouse, but started so quietly. All talk about the rush. Anaton into the nitrocell, though, from MB, but he did die to Zaka. At least got one with him, and it was the Blitz. Swing from the window. Shibitsu, wonderful kill onto Canadian, and has another in his sights. Surf continues to peek at the doorway to his demise. One more to follow. Rexit and Spoit close by to each other, but the round is almost forfeit already as Chibisu holds at this doorway.
Ran dry last mag.
Spoit on the other side. And Chibisu lets him know he's still there. Sharif found Rexin. It's only Spoit that remains. He is corralled, surrounded, and shut down. CAG with a 2-0 dominant start on Lair.
Yeah, this is a great start. These opening attacks from CAG have been very difficult to fault. Shopify Rebellion are put on notice.
Oh my goodness, Super's seen enough. He's called a timeout after 2 rounds. If that doesn't tell you how dominant of a start this is from CAG, I don't know how else to spell it. That is an incredibly early tack timeout from Shopify Rebellion.
And I think the question that needs to be answered is, if Chibisu is back,
How do we deal with him? Quiet back on border. And we posed the challenge that he needed to rise to here on map 3. Still early days, but he's risen to the challenge. Good couple of rounds from him. Sharif as well, up to 4. And Shopify Rebellion have been caught on their heels early here on Lair.
Tactical timeout will expire. I was just looking.
You got the glasses on, man.
I was looking towards Sparky. I just wanted to see again. He's got the mouth covered.
Got to keep that secret,
he gets
mate.
a free early talk as well with CAG. So Sparky will hold the one and only tactical timeout remaining for this map. That is super early, but you know what? I think it's the right call.
I see what you did there. Super early.
And it is the right call. Those
agree.
first few rounds are so dominant from CAG that you have to just remind the boys what's at stake, calm them down, and settle. Round 3 coming up. And boy, it feels very pivotal early.
Yeah. I didn't quite envision map 3 getting off to such a positive start for CAG. Shopify tested. And an intriguing extension from them up above on the vert to try and prevent CAG from establishing that checklist early on. That's facilitated by the mirror in particular. And positionally, some of these defenders currently offside on the first floor. I presume CAG are eager to get some vert control, notably with the sledge in plate. They also have that solid snake once again to facilitate map clear.
My location is clear, huh? Looks like their security's up.
Interestingly, basement on Lair offers the ability to really contest around that first floor. But I like Sharif here with the solid snake, the way he's playing right now, 4 kills. I think it could really lead into him finding an early pick or 2. That would just put Shopify Rebellion immediately on the back foot. So I'm sensing Shopify Rebellion will actually be more conservative based on their lineup and their position. I don't think they're really going to fight first floor to maintain it. It'll be more of that poke, prod, fall back, play positions like blue stairs.
Well, this is quick.
Quick indeed. Anderton towards blue stairs. Griswold mine thrown out from Rexon. He has been pinged as well. Here comes Sharif. Nitrocell from Canadian. If that can connect onto Anderton, it'll be huge. It does connect, but only damage. Doesn't find the kill. Keeps Anderton alive on the blitz. 90 seconds left in this third round. So crucial. Out of the tactical timeout. Here comes Anderton, though. They've got Spoit inside of Armory. Flash, easy. Here, kill clear. Spoit caught napping.
I love that. The Nitrocell was keeping him at bay, but the Thatcher from CAG proving ultra effective. Ambi over towards range. He's cut off.
Ambi takes a peek and realizes he needs to get out of here. Good damage onto Anderton. Really good clear from Ambi. Can he get out of here alive? No. They've got the cutoff. And they bring it back to a 3 versus 3, and still plenty of time remaining for CAG, but they do lose the blitz.
Enemy device close.
Couple of bolts remain for DD. And there is a lack of plant denial here for Shopify Rebellion. They'll need to be cautious in the final stages of this third round.
And also somewhat a lack of utility after this belt from DD. Final seconds of this third round. Mirror dealt with.
Reloaded.
Vault over. In towards Lab. Pistol out. Doesn't connect. Lovely shot from Rexer. Needed that one desperately. Sharif and DD. Low on time. Will need to find the kills. Shopify Rebellion seem like they're going to finally get around on the board here for Lair. As Sharif drops, it was a 1-for-1 trade. Leaves DD needing to find 2 kills in 4 seconds. Spots 1. That'll be a kill. No, not even. Canadian wins the battle. Shopify Rebellion finally get around on Lair.
Yeah, the roam and the extension maybe not as effective as they otherwise would have liked. I think the problem solving with the Thatcher from CAG was clean. Late round though, better from Shopify, despite struggling in terms of the amount of utility they had remaining. It was kind of equalized with CAG having their own struggles there at the tail end of the round. GBC got exposed, got caught out with pistol. Rexon hit a sharp shot, gave his team the advantage, and then able to lock down the site from there. So a 1-2 scoreline, additional bans. The blitz triple down from Shopify and Azami from CAG.
Yeah, the Azami, by the way, was only first played in that round lab, but it is also very strong top floor too.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's a very solid ban from CAG, but yeah, again, for Shopify Rebellion, just get rid of the shields. Don't have to deal with Anderton on that. Does mean, of course, Anderton can flex over to operators like the Ying. In fact, he's on the glance at the moment. We will go back top floor. Master and R6 will be next up in the 4th round. But that was must-win territory for Shopify Rebellion, and they just won. Not super clinical, not super clean. I think if you're CAG, you walk away from that round not feeling too unhappy about the result. They know they could have been a little bit cleaner. Losing Anderton on the blitz wasn't ideal with what they were shaping up for in that round. We reset, we go round 4, top floor again. This still, though, in my opinion, needs to be a must-win for Shopify Rebellion, this site in particular.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Rayora in play for Zaka.
Yeah, Rayora Glaz is interesting.
Very interested to see how this little comp is going to play out.
Reloading.
Presumably a set play that they have prepared.
Well, will it be open up mask, Rayora gate on the doorway? I mean, you can also go for a backside hit as well. But right now, things shape up towards Ops will be the play early on for CAG. By the way, 3 straight opening kills for CAG here on Lair. Just to keep note of. Oh, here we go from below. Sharik with the Zofia looking for the impact trick. No, but he also didn't have information. Just went for it. At least does open up the floorboard. Canadian knows there is some storage side pressure.
Already used all 3 smokes. Now forced to contest close.
Oh my God, Rexen is just jumping from below. Canadian needs to be ready, and he is lovely headshot onto DD to shut down the Solid Snake. But Sharik knows there's another one directly above him inside of storage. He'll hold the angle at the doorway. 6 kills early on for Sharik. 5 as well, by the way, for Jibitsu here on Lair. I said on border, he needs to stand up, and boy, he has. Canadian needs to be so careful.
Yeah, could be susceptible to Vert if his positioning is off.
By the way, only 1 smoke grenade remaining for CAG if they want to play off this Glaz with the smoke. Especially now with Rexen dealt with. There is no Warden counterplay. So when that smoke gets thrown out, you have to play off it if you're CAG.
Shopify have been drawn into R6 side, so I like this rotation from Zaka. Has a bit of space to play off now over towards Ops.
He's got all of it. But there is Surf still over towards Mask, and he's had some big plays in this series. Bit of damage onto Zaka. Wards him off, sends him back towards Ops. Sharif opening up the breach from the other side. Oh, Surf needs to be careful, but the DMR can play this angle. 40 seconds remain. Again, no gas babes, but there is still a Nitrocell, most importantly with Spoit. If they do go for a Mask plant, Spoit can still stop that. Oh, damage onto Sharif. A bit of counterplay from the defense. Canadian as well. Gets active on said defense. Spoit shuts down Jibitsu. Shopify Rebellion flip the script. They get aggressive. They make it 2 straight rounds as we are tied on this 3rd map. Much better from Shopify Rebellion. They didn't just sit and wait for CAG to make their move. Got on the front foot and got rewarded.
Yeah, they've responded nicely to that very early tactical timeout from Super post round 2. Now we equalize 2 apiece, posing questions to CAG. Canadian was active at the beginning of the round. 3 smoke babes, expended early, was under a bit of pressure, but he stood tall, found an initial trade. And then critically, late round, clued into the potential rotation. Another good round from Surf in particular. His ankle work, again, excelling here at the Esports World Cup.
Canadian top fragging.
Don't see that every day of the week.
I don't see that every day of the week.
Which is normally a concern, but if anything, in this kind of context, it's not been a problem.
Oh, 2-2. Still 4 straight opening kills for CAG, but unable to convert in rounds 3-4. Bunk's briefing returns. Was won by CAG last time.
CAG giving up on the original plan though, so they'll repick back into the direct hit, so expect greenside pressure, Capital for the vert, and of course the ROUs from DD to help mask that plant. It means, though, Surf on the Warden and Spoit on the Solace are the two key stakeholders in the round for the defense.
It also means for CAG, it's kind of a one-and-done play. Typically, if you do go for that green side into a rush plant, if it's unsuccessful, we don't usually see the attack.
It's hard to have. Yeah, the backup plan is very limited for this approach. And it's also the kind of play now that is very meta globally. Shopify Rebellion very early into this round will kind of know what's coming at them based on positions and drone work, etc., etc. It's not going to catch them off guard. So CAG's execution needs to be near perfect.
Deploying drone.
I think you need to be near perfect for the remainder of this map. Both teams, to be honest, there's not a lot of room for error.
Tracks released.
I think if you're Shopify Rebellion, it's just a matter of just holding on. Put the scoreboard pressure onto CAG and they will mentally crumble. So the first ROU out from DD. Will he follow up with a plant attempt? He will.
Out like a light.
Well, the horizontal Thatcher up above, but it doesn't quite work. Spoit has info.
Well, they deny the plant, but they don't get the kill. DD able to escape. First attempt unsuccessful for CAG, but they don't lose the sends. There is still an ROU available for DD. Not often you get a complete second go at this, guys.
It's rare. This is really rare. Can CAG capitalize on the reattempt?
Sharif has to be mindful. Floorboard above being walked. Takes a bullet to the shoulder. They don't have to rush this. There's still 60 seconds. ROUs again have been sent out. This time, Anderton full health. He's picked up the diffuser. He's at the bomb chassis. Is he spotted? Spoit has to hit the shot. He can't get it through the floorboard. Play will be successful for CAG. Spoit couldn't hit the shots. The angle not favoring him. And now the retake attempt needs to be swift. They've got 30 seconds in a 5v5 post-plant retake. Towards green stairs. Big battle. Won by Spoit. Makes up for the earlier miss. But they need to be quick with their movement. As Jibisu looking to block off this push down the stairs. Looking to win the battle. Spoit clutches up. Canadian onto the kit tonight though by Sharif. 12 seconds. Time is expiring so quickly before the very eyes of SR. And again denied. Rexon falls. There is no time. CAG will take the 5th round. And with that the lead.
Whoa. I cannot believe we saw the reattempt work. That might be the first I've ever seen. As we said before, if your first attempt on that attacking set doesn't pan out, the reattempt is so challenging. But for Shopify Rebellion and Spoit specifically didn't quite get the ping out on the plan. Then the follow-up spray didn't quite land with the beams in the way. And whilst the fight back in the post was still strong, it wasn't enough. Great play outside breach in particular from CAG. A stressful round for both teams, but CAG now in the lead.
They have the chance to extend said lead as well. Final round of this half. We return to basement. I think arguably the best site that maybe Shopify Rebellion looked on back in round number 3.
10 seconds remaining.
Funnily enough, that was the first time that Shopify Rebellion got the opening kill, but
5 seconds left before
at a giant asterisk is that opening kill was post-plant in a 5v5. Not often you see that on Bunk's briefing. So lab we go. And a pretty different lineup for Shopify Rebellion defensively. Last time they brought the Yala, they had the Azami, of course now banned away. They had the Mirror, they don't opt to bring that, nor the Mai. They go with the Solus again, but this time Ambi will take that away from Spoit. Spoit will go onto the Thorn. We see Thorn for the first time in this half. Fenrir as well brought out. Add in the Melusi and the Goya, and it's traps everywhere. So Anderton onto the Twitch needs to get to work.
Oh, he's been working hard. He's on the grind.
Nothing
Still has a shock drone in pocket as well, which will certainly be consequential in this particular round.
9-2 for Sharif. Huge performance from him in the series. 32-20. 4-2 entry with a 131 EPS. The next highest is Surf with a 108. That is a gigantic golf. Sharif has been by far and away the MVP of this series. Will he maintain that though, heading into the second half? As Anaton thinking about the push up yellow stairs, opts against it. Storage battle. I put the curse on Sharif. He loses out. Ambi stays alive. Eats the Dugger payload. Oh my goodness! That's the biggest whiff I've ever seen. Zaka needed to collect that kill onto Ambi.
If you wanted my attention,
Speechless.
all you had to do
How does Ambi survive that? Well, what ramifications will that have in this series?
Found my next target.
They got the revive as well onto Sharif. It would have been a 5 versus 4 for CAG. A giant fumble. But Jimisu, what a headshot onto Canadian. And all tied up heading into the final minute of this half. Anaton, swing, headshot, no, but it's a good enough kill onto Rexon, and that's all that matters.
How have they gotten themselves back into this round? It's advantage CAG, Ambi low on HP, and potentially limited denial for Shopify Rebellion, although keep in mind with the Goyo's preset site, that could pose a challenge. And Spoit is hiding in Armory.
Still have calls available. In fact, one going out now onto Spoit, as you said, towards Armory. Not really anyone, though, to play off that. He'll eat the call. Well, he's going to answer the call. 20 seconds left. Jimisu can call again. Sharif with the radar gets a bit of information. And remember, Ambi's very low on health. Sharif caught, though, by Surf. 3 versus 3. Heading into red time. Up close. Surf's got a couple more coming his way, but he's ready to ride the high wave again. 3 from Surf on site. Nothing Anaton can do. We are all tied on Lair. 3 apiece. After 6 rounds of action.
Surf just is that guy when you need somebody
Surf
to anchor the site. He is him. One of many big moments for him so far at the Esports World Cup.
On all 3 maps, Surf has had a gigantic moment.
Yeah.
Does it again.
Oh, what a half.
What a half.
2-minute break, and I think it's needed not just for the boys on in the server, but for us as well up here on the desk.
And again, remember, of course, coaches now get to talk during this halftime break. So Sparky, hand on mouth again. Super will get another opportunity to talk after what was a tactical timeout at 2-0 in favor of CAG. To be fair, from that timeout of Super, Shopify Rebellion then won 3 of the next 4 rounds.
Yeah, they surged.
So they were able to respond. Of course, CAG do still hold their tactical timeout for the second half.
Swapping mag.
But just big moments. In every single one of these rounds, nothing has been easy for anyone inside of the server. But again, Surf with multiple bodies coming towards you, it's very easy to just get overwhelmed in these positions, but he has shown time and time again, he's cool, he's calm, and he's collected. But what a stressful moment now for these two teams. 40 seconds left we've got on this halftime break. At 3-3, someone's Esports World Cup dream will be coming to an end very quickly.
It will. Final messages now to be relayed. Quick discussion as to any sore points in the first half, but just reiterating the plans then for the next handful of rounds, which will determine each team's fate at this event.
So Lair, by the way, in the APAC North region for stage 1 was defend decided at 52%. And the reason why I don't really want to look at globe, I'd rather look at what the region is. That's what matters the most. That's where CAG should be more comfortable on defense going into this second half. Now for North America League, which as we've seen has sometimes some very different numbers compared to other regions, Lair is even more defend decided at 58%. Doesn't bode well for Shopify Rebellion. They're on the wrong side here coming into this second half. That's the way to frame it.
Yeah.
But 52, 58%, there's still big margins the other way. They can still win this on the attack. I wouldn't be surprised, actually, if it ends up 3-3 and we go overtime. Why not?
May as well. We've gotten this far. As the bands roll through, will it be double shield?
No.
No, not quite. So the Monty Grim combo from the side of defense. And then
Army Mirror are honestly some very, very strong bands. What it does enable is your Kaid. Kaid is a very strong operator here.
Yep.
You can also double down with Bandit if you want, but I don't think you need to. I think Kaid alone just gives a little mini game to be dealt with for Shopify Rebellion.
It enables the info gather, right? And we saw that pretty effective back on Club, notably the Valkyrie. Maestro is never going to get banned, but just something to note that CAG sometimes dabble in that as well. So I wouldn't put that completely out of the question. On the side of Shopify, though, on the attack, info, right? We're going to see the Deimos, we're going to see the Snake, we're going to see the Dokkaebi, as expected. I don't think CAG will be too shaken by that, though. If Shopify want to up the tempo a little bit, have good read with the information to facilitate that.
I think if you're CAG right now, you're comfortable being on defense.
Attackers must locate and defuse the
If you're Shopify Rebellion, you're happy with the last couple of rounds after being down 0-2 to begin with. The scoreboard suggests it at 3-3. Both teams come into this very evenly matched for the second half as we get underway. Ambi immediately onto the Solid Snake. One last reminder in terms of who's been the best in this series. Surf 27-18, Ambi 23-19, Rexin 21-20. The only three going positive for Shopify Rebellion. The only one going positive for CAG has been Sharik, 32-21, Zaka 21-21, the next best. But all that matters is this map right now. First minute expiring. I do have Canadian on the Ying, so the Candelas can help clear out positions to get Mez control and then eventually into sight. DD will play on the Tachanka to deny the mask plan. How is Ambi dead already? Chibisu over towards Mezzanine has found a very early kill in this round. Not ideal for the attack of Shopify Rebellion. While the Solid Snake is not completely important to the plan for attacking this site, you're losing a top player in Ambi.
Yep. That's gonna hurt. But Shopify Rebellion's ability to fight and to problem solve has been good over the course of not just this series, but the entirety of the event. So don't count them out. Midpoint though, and it's looking tricky. Bit of control over towards Ops as Canadian feeds info on the opposing side of the map. A lot of stall out on offer here from CAG though. The Tachanka, the Goyo, even the Zodo from Chibisu.
Anderton still has Kaid Claw, by the way, and just replaced it. Has stole that Nitrocell as well. Spoit falls to Chibisu. He's found a second one from Master. Vulcan canister popped. Just in case Shopify Rebellion wanted to push in, and indeed they do. They do want to push in. They're going to go off this. Canadian through the smoke criminal. But then caught in the back from the pistol of Chibisu. He's found 3 important kills in this round. They spot Surf trying to push through the doorway. They deny him. Rexin by himself, dead at the window. With that, CAG take the lead. They're 3 rounds away from knocking out Shopify Rebellion.
Careful, Jake. Don't give the APAC fans too much false hope. Not just yet. We're not there.
Just stating what's happening. That's all I can do.
It is. But it's also the strongest, typically, site on the map for defense. Shopify should not be rattled. CAG, though, I think can take confidence from that. They played really well across the board, afforded themselves the early advantage, and even when the Chaos Ball got thrown,
well, where's the follow-up with Canadian? He's going deep there. He finds the kill. Where's everyone else?
Yeah.
Are they not on the same page? Was that not the script play?
That's kind of the
Was
point.
that just a hero play?
Mary.
We don't know, but...
Got a Hail Mary at that point.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't work.
No.
So, basement for the 8th round. Big round from Chibisu, by the way. He goes up to 9 kills. Did say coming into this map of Lair, Chibisu, Sharip, they're the ones to watch. They got 19 kills combined. On the flip side for Shopify Rebellion, while they've had an even spread, there's not one player in particular that is having a really big pop-off game. So if you go back to Clubhouse, it was Surf 14-9. You go back to Border, which they won. You had 2 players double-digit. Here right now, it's not looking good, but it's 3-4, and there's so many rounds still to work their way back into this.
Yeah, long way to go. Eyes on Ambi at the moment. Rough start to the second half for him. He'll be wanting to extract info on that Solid Snake, gather info for the push. Is the only dedicated info gatherer this round out for Shopify Rebellion. And when you consider the setup here from CAG with pretty heavy presence off-site, we'll see if that ends up compromising their ability to clear the map, which they are going to go for. That's signaled by the Ram. Spoiled as well for flank watch once they obtain that control, but gathering that in the first place here for Shopify Rebellion may pose problems. Sharif's second floor server, Chibisu has presence armory and has the support of that clash.
Ambi's been involved in the last two opening engagements. When you're playing the Solid Snake, likely to put yourself in that position. Drone's being dealt with. Slow round, pacing-wise. Halfway through already, still 5v5. No real shots taken from either team. Sharif still top floor server. That may be unknown to the attack. Spoy creeping down the missile hallway. Hulk canister spotted at the door. He'll be aware of that. Shopify Rebellion, though, are very, very cool, calm and collected. It's Surf that gets the following kill. Now they are going to follow up on this and look to flood the site.
Yeah, flood the clash with an air jab.
And Sharif needs to be very mindful. He's still top floor, needs to make his way back to site and help out his teammates as quick as possible. And boy, does he. Big kill onto Surf, but Rexon steps up, shuts down Chibisu, who's been so instrumental for CAG. Advantage still with Shopify Rebellion, but here comes the clash of Anaton to try and get in their face. He finds two, but it's Canadian and gets the last. Oh, big round win for Shopify Rebellion. Sneaking up on them in basement and striking with Venom. All tied again at 4-4.
Got close there for Anaton. It was a good flood onto his position to knock the clash out of play, but only temporarily. Anaton actually did a really good job to stay up there for the late round, and it was almost enough for CAG to be able to clutch out the round. Here is that flood, 3 versus 1, and unfortunately couldn't sustain.
Came down to a 1v2. So that last swing from Canadian, if he dies there, it's a 1v1 and not in a post plan. That would have been really dicey. Canadian going positive at 6 and 5, but no longer top fragging as Ambi has also got 7 kills to his name. And it's been back and forth now since the 4th round, 1-1-1 and so on. Neither team gaining a lot of separation, neither team able to go on a big run. Now, if we go back to Clubhouse, there was a period where Shopify Rebellion won 4 rounds straight. There was a period where CAG won 5. Shopify Rebellion on border, won 5 straight. The highest win round streaks for either of these two so far has been just 2, which was the opening 4 rounds. Since then, it has been as even as you can ask for. Heading into the 9th round, who can just edge out that number 5 and feel a little safer going into round 10?
No, it's the Dorm's site. Round number 9.
And Master R6 will open up after this round as well.
Favorable for CAG.
Drone spinning up.
Capitao in play, expectation for Shopify to go for the flood with that coverage. CAG well prepared with the Warden and the Solace combination up above on 2nd floor. Both will need to be cautious of Surf on the Thatcher. This is, in terms of setup,
they're all chilling.
Yeah, this is very similar to what we saw in the first half.
His full hands off keyboard. They're just going to sit.
The guns are out.
And wait. It's 4-4 at the Esports World Cup, and they're just chilling. But now, the chill time is coming to an end. Breach opened up successfully, and on the rotate they go.
Yeah, probably going to rotate across for green control. Ambi with a bit of a preamble, has Sky Bridge and the track stingers on the gridlock to help facilitate that map control. Is Aniton eager here to actually progress forward and get a little aggressive?
So we'll deal with the Kaigi Claw from the Thatcher of Serve, so the exothermic charge from Spoit will be successful. They're going to stop the other one as well. So wall opened up again. This is some really good check work from Shopify Rebellion. Green control. Breaches opened up.
I have options.
They have the options. It means there's also pressure onto CAG. 60 seconds. Jibisu scanning as well with the Solus to try and find out where Canadian is. He's over towards Bunk. Smoke's going out. Gas Babe as well from Zaka. Canadian is into the site and will go for the plant on the fuse. DD, big battle. Canadian is still sticking this nitro cell thrown, but it's not the right spot.
There was a ping.
Canadian was pinged. He will be dealt with, but the plant will be successful for Shopify Rebellion. CAG have the extra number, but they still need to retake, and they need to do so quickly.
Yeah, 30 seconds. They need to move fast, but Shopify Rebellion in position.
Big kill from Surf. CAG will need to flood, and flood quickly. Ambi's retaken back up above towards Skybridge. Aniton shuts down Rexon. Need to start moving towards this kit and look to stick it for the counter defuse as DD goes on it on the Warden. Halfway through, now 3/3, almost the whole way indeed. DD has stuck it! Oh, that's incredible! DD with the big man play!
Oh, boy.
Oh, my!
How often do you see a retake on that site?
They had players up as well, but couldn't deny. CAG take the lead again. They go 5-4 up. Shopify Rebellion got the plant down on Bunk's briefing and couldn't win.
Well, I think there was a disconnect on the comms there, and DD Man went for the wrong position for plant denial initially. But the risk that you run is the attack. If you go for the tuck plant there, which is more protected from the vert, it's less exposed to the exterior breach. Surf tried to play that position, got overwhelmed, and they didn't have a line of sight there onto the counter defuse.
So Master R6 now follows into the 10th round. CAG, by the way, still have their tactical timeout. Super has already used his for Shopify Rebellion. Round 10 coming up, back to the top floor, the best defensive site, and CAG have number 6 in their sights. But Guz, it's that hurdle. And boy, do these APAC teams, most especially CAG, love a good stumble when it seems like maybe they can finally get over it.
Yep.
This is crucial for both teams.
Both teams with everything to gain, but equally everything to lose in this series. Shopify Rebellion getting knocked out by an APAC team, or CAG losing and falling short at another international event. Whichever way you spin it, it's going to be a disaster for the loser of this matchup, an elation for the winner, and an opportunity to go on and do damage.
Well, if CAG win this, there will be as many APAC teams in group stage as North American teams.
All clear.
Not that that really means anything. It's just a fun fact. I don't know. That's not really
It's a fun fact for us.
Yeah, it's a fun fact. They've still got to win it though. We know CAG love a good fumble. Shareeb, not gonna lie, you hold your breath in those moments as he made his way up main stairs. But he gets back safely onto the Roteros for Rexon. He's had a quiet one, it's fair to say 2 and 8. But while he's been quiet up to this point, don't discount him from still having a say.
Hey, I mean, he's had
from here.
He's had a really good event and has had good impact moments. So numbers for me are relevant from his perspective. It's
He was number 1 rated coming into today.
Yeah, but if he has the opportunity presented to him, needs to capitalize. Obviously, more of an emphasis and focus on utility for now, and then gun up once his jobs are done. Jobs are done on the Roteros. Canadian with the util set here, potentially on the cap.
Well, triple nitro still up, plus Shamika launcher, plus double gas bay, plus 3 Zoto canisters. Halfway through the round, CAG are littered with utility.
Yep.
As you said, Shopify Rebellion now need to draw this utility out. They do begin to do so, but damage taken from Surf on the Blackbeard. 1 gas bay remains for Shareeb. This pace needs to continue though for the attack up main stairs through the fire for Ambi.
Reloading.
They lose Surf though to the Nitrocell Azaka, so the Blackbeard is gone. They lose that forward pressure pushing in, no shield up, but at least Ambi took some semblance of control towards main stairs, but hasn't quite got to the mezzanine, but Point now has.
Looks like
Radar information, good information acquired from Ambi. Next kill, so critical.
But again, it's about drawing out this utility, being able to make a play. Some information now for Shopify Rebellion, but 40 seconds remain.
Spoit doesn't feel comfortable right now. You can see the flames, the pressure. Look at this again. He just doesn't want to commit with the blowtorch. Struggling to open up this wall into Mask, which is the primary plant position. Still, Shamika launcher available. Still, double Nitrocell available. This could be the moment here and now as Jibisu will play the master desk. Zoto canister thrown out, but he will fall. Big pick from Ambi. Spoit as well, stands up, shuts down Sharif, still a Nitro up for Anakin, 2 bullets in the Shamika launcher for DD Man. Spoit on 1 HP, and so is Canadian. Radar up, but put your gun up, Andy. You need to kill them all. You have 5 seconds, or you're facing elimination as Anakin fights 2. He's got the big guns for a reason. It's 6-4, baby. APAC might just send Shopify Rebellion home.
Oh my goodness. The stall out there from CAG was spot on. Shopify Rebellion did not draw out enough utility fast enough in that round. A classic stall out, a classic stack up. Filter effect through the door. And I mean, to be fair, they still did a pretty good job to fight themselves into a decent position, but not good enough. 2 opportunities to send Shopify packing.
Well, I mean, Shopify Rebellion, they just look so stalled out for so many large periods of that round, guys. And you could see as well, wanting to open up Mask with the blowtorch, Spoit didn't feel comfortable, and he couldn't actually do it anyway because of the Shamika launcher. CAG had them in their back pocket there on the top floor, but top floor now is done, locked away. 2 rounds for Shopify Rebellion to force overtime. The good news is they've already won basement. That's already happened back in round 8. And honestly, Bunk's briefing doable as well. So there is still a path forward for the North American team. With top floor gone, they can very much win 2 straight, but boy, they will need to be perfect.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
I don't think anyone's going to get perfect pick'ems if CAG go on to win one of these next 2 rounds. It felt like Shopify Rebellion were a certainty to make it through to the group stage here at EWC.
Well, it comes back to why have you left Kaid up on the board, and in the end, that claw was still up. You're forced into the Maverick. Things are a bit messy. It's come back to bite Shopify Rebellion.
Nothing to worry about near me.
But again, basement. They won this site last time. Can they do so again?
Starting shock drone.
Small change up in their lineup. They drop the Ram. They drop the Nomad. They bring the IQ and the Dockerby instead. And a decent change as well, too, for CAG. They'll bring the Solars this round. They'll rely again on the Kaid. Didn't bring it, actually, for Lab back in round 8. Razor Bloom activated. No damage dealt. Good bait from Spoit.
Spoit's been doing some really good info gathering over the course of this second half. I feel like every time I'm looking at his card or POV, getting active with the info that he's been able to relay to the rest of the team and trying to take some space and make plays. This round, no exception. Chibisu looks hungry, though. Up to 11 kills. He has turned it up here on map 3. A little dormant, back on border.
He's on the move as well.
Form here on Lair.
Shopify Rebellion know that they need to be perfect, but CAG also now know they're afforded the freedom to go for, a flanking play, be a little aggressive themselves. They don't have to just sit back cowardlessly. They can actually be aggressive on the defense. Nitrocell for DD in hand, over towards Toxin. Prepped, lined up, and look at the blue outlines on the other side for Shopify Rebellion. This could be huge. Thrown out, shot out.
And on radar now.
Can they follow up quickly? It's Sharif, though, that finds the opening pick onto Surf. Shopify Rebellion lose another entry battle. Make that 4 from the last 5. Big swing. Rexon wins. Oh, Spoit! Team kill! No, but Canadian does at least get rid of Zaka. Spoit, though, is also still down on the floor. Not the time for a TK. If you're SR and the Nitro finishes off Spoit, he's done. It's down to Unk. Canadian, you need to salvage this. The young and the old with Ambi. 30 seconds leaves them little time.
And they combine payload to go out, but it's Sharif up close. 14
He's
kills.
locked in. as he edges closer to the monitor. CAG edges closer to knocking out Shopify Rebellion. Anatem will indeed crush their key as he crushes their hearts. APAC will go to group stage. Shopify Rebellion, you're going to the nearest airport.